Welcome, everyone, to the fourth episode of the Renegade Realm Podcast. I am your very excited, very hi-fi rushed, very Xbox has a game coming host, Red Wolf. Thank you. Welcome again for the fourth time. Or if you didn't have time, you've listened to this at least 20 times per viewer or something. I don't know. I'm excited. Everyone else is excited. One person I'm very excited to have with us today is another special guest, Manic Master. Welcome.
Thank you.
That's it? That's all you have? And also, finally get my beautiful Asian baby boy, Sapio. He has returned from the dead. He did not die in that plane crash. He was actually the only survivor of the plane crash, and he's totally fine. Welcome, Sapio.
Yeah, sorry. I also got held up by the MI6 afterwards, Lone survivor.
Those Brits.
Usually
Yeah, I
gets
hate.
second. Yeah.
And Big Daddy Mac, as always. How are you, Big
I'm
Daddy?
good. I'm always here. You know that. I never miss a show.
Yes.
No offense, Sapio. I was not throwing shade at you. I'm sorry.
And my one and only son, at least the only one that I know about, Assassin. Welcome.
Damn it, those MI6 agents were supposed to finish the job.
We'll get there. So I'm really excited. I know everyone else is too, because this was a big week for Xbox. Finally, we got the Xbox Direct, baby. It hit, and it hit well. Very dense, very tight, very, just got in there, did what I had to do, didn't waste any time, and I love that. And I know everyone was expecting me to make a sexual joke, but I didn't. I held back. So I'm just going to go down the order of the games that appeared and to see what everyone thinks about this. So first thing that they showed was Minecraft Legends. And I know, Mac, I know you said before you're not really big into, Age of Empires and the RTS type games. But how did everyone feel about this? I'm gonna go with you, Manic. How did you feel about
Let's do a 1 out of 10.
Legends?
Let's do a 1 out of 10 rating when you off rip.
Sounds good. Let's do that.
Yeah.
I wouldn't know. I'm not really a Minecraft person. Understand the lore of it, but I don't know. For me, I would say a 5.
Okay. No other thoughts other than, because I know a lot of people say that. A lot of people say, I'm not a Minecraft guy, so I don't know if it's for me. This is like imagine like a Spider-Man, you have Spider-Man, and then you see Spider-Man in other games like Marvel Midnight Suns or Ultimate Alliance. You don't have to be a Spider-Man guy, but it doesn't necessarily apply here because it's a different genre set in the universe of Minecraft. And in this case, it's a tower defense game where you have tons of armies. You get all these armies and you send them out and you try to destroy each other and stuff like that. Do RTS tower defense games interest you, Manic?
Unfortunately, not. No.
Interesting.
It's not my type of genre. Fast place, action, horror. That's my genre, not Minecraft. Fortunately.
Okay. Yeah, because I grew up playing Age of Empire and stuff like that. It was it kind of spoke to me. I was like, this might be fun and simple. Any other thoughts on that, Manic? You just no, not for you. Don't care. Minecraft, it's for babies.
No, I wouldn't say it's for babies. We all have our different tastes. We all have our different preferences. But no, Minecraft is just for me, unfortunately. And yeah, what else is it to say when you really want to have an interest in a game?
Right. Yeah, that's it. It's just not for you. That's it. Well, thanks for joining the Renegade Realm Podcast. Mac, you can go next, buddy.
I'm gonna say a 4. It's not that it doesn't excite me, but it's a tower defense like PvP co-op game. I'm gonna try it. It's Game Pass. It comes out a weird timing. We got April. I don't know. It is what it is. It's just a weird timing month. I do have a game a couple days before that I'm gonna play with Mega Man. But Minecraft Legends, it's not for me. But I get why people like it, and I hope people enjoy it. I hope people love it. I hope people buy it in thousands and thousands of copies because the people that made that game deserve it. But it's just not my cup of tea.
Right, right. Yeah, and that's a good point that you said. I agree, they do deserve it because what we did see in this showcase, at least twice, is that Xbox, Microsoft is allowing their developers to take risks, and that's exciting. That's
And
exciting because they're not forcing them into making the same thing over and over again. They're like, you know what, do what you want to do. Let's see what happens. And I think they have faith
and they
in that.
do look. If you remember watching it yesterday, the developers during that looked so. I don't know if it was a gimmick, but if it's not a gimmick, they looked really happy playing the game, or at least enjoyful. I do think it's a little bit more of a gimmick, but you can't put on a face that you don't want that much. As many times as they did, I'd shoot myself if that was the case. But they definitely looked a little bit more enjoyed about it when they were playing it. It's just one of those things.
Right, because you do have your directors, right? So you have your directors that have their lines that are going to come out and say, we are so excited to show you this game. Here's what other people who have more to say have to say. And then they cut to the actual developers of the game, and then you see them actually playing and being passionate because they're the ones who are actually hands-on, physically making the game. So they're going to be a little more excited about that. So I can understand how it can feel weird, but they look happy.
There. The only actual one Minecraft game that ever did appeal to me, which we never saw beyond what we saw in any of the shows they did, was the Minecraft with the Oculus, not the Oculus, the lens thing, where they had it set on the table.
Yep,
Yeah,
where you
well,
could grab and move and build and stuff like
but
that.
everybody in the Halo Lens thing got laid off recently. So because that was the whole reason why the Halo Lens was actually being brought in was because of the military. I thought the whole thing was for military. They weren't. It was just that the people on the side were kind of more just the gaming side was more just an add-on to it, more the case.
Not just that whole concept of it being on a big table and you can look down upon it and move around. That just seemed like a cool thing.
Well, they pulled their community again on us and pulled that shit away just like normal. So.
They did.
Yeah, it's funny. Did you guys remember when they showed that they were using Microsoft 360 controllers for drone attacks for soldiers? They were training them. Remember that?
Yeah, I've seen that. That was. Let's not talk about war. So you know, it can get people.
I didn't say they killed anyone. They just, they were just.
Well, we clearly know it did. So let's just carry on.
Nah, no one dies in war.
Their controller got DC and went to the wrong place. Sorry. Okay.
Right. It was all fake. Fake news. Assassin, what do you think about that? Are you excited for Minecraft Legends? What do you think about all that?
Out of 10, before the direct, I would give it a 4, like Manic. But after the direct, I'd give it like a 6. I'm not a big fan of RTSs either. That's why I'm not excited for Age of Empires 2 or 4 either. Those are coming later this year. Age of Empires 2 in a couple days.
Yeah.
I will say that adding the action and tower defense part of the game, I can see that maybe Mojang and maybe in a sense Blackbird, who's also co-developing the game, I can see that maybe that they're trying to, like you said earlier, take risks, branch out, maybe get more people interested in the Minecraft IP that way. But I'm gonna have to see a little bit more gameplay, a little bit more of the gameplay mechanics closer to launch. But I'm a little bit more interested than I was before. But I'd still give it like a 6 out of 10. And it's not for me, but. I don't know. Maybe if they show more and explain more, maybe I'll get a little bit more excited. But that's where I'm at.
Okay. Interesting. Okay. So positivity's rising. Let's see if it crumbles and falls and crashes. Sapio, do you like tower defense games? Does Minecraft appeal to you and your likes?
So I'm an avid Minecraft fan. And I'm probably the most avid fan of Minecraft out of all five of us here. Just judging by what we said so far. But at the same time, I'm not the biggest fan of RTS games. If I want tower defense, I would go play Balloons Towers Defense, This combination of Minecraft and anything else just doesn't appeal to me. For me, Minecraft is very much a sandbox open world game. And this just feels like creating a game with the skin of Minecraft rather than, just an extension of Minecraft.
Is he cutting in and out at you guys, or is that just me? I want to make sure.
No,
Yeah,
I
just
am
make sure
hearing it
that-
too.
No,
Okay,
it was
I just
fine.
make sure that your mic is a little close to your face.
Your mic just randomly
Yeah.
started doing some like. Just talk a little bit louder. Maybe
weird.
that might be better. Yeah,
Yep.
it was like a static cutout.
Let's do that.
Well,
Is that
it's because. Go ahead, say something.
is that better?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, cool.
Anyway.
Wanted to make
So
sure.
you hate it. You hate
Yeah.
everything about it, and
Oh no! I'm fairly
Burning.
neutral about it. I'm very apathetic about it.
Ah, interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
So what's
Out of
your
10,
score?
Sapio.
What?
What's your score?
Out of 10, it was probably 5. Yeah.
Okay. I thought this game was a 12 out. No, I'm just kidding. I thought it was like a 6.
Yeah.
It's an interesting concept. I'm not huge. I love Minecraft, but I just don't play it anymore. But there's a lot of things to like from what I saw. I think it could be a lot of fun just to jump in with a bunch of friends and just fuck each other up in a world that is completely destructible. And I don't know. I don't think I can't remember who said it recently, but I think Minecraft Legends is a game for people who didn't watch the direct, it's gonna pop up and they're gonna say, I'll try this. But since we saw the breakdown, we know what it is. It's very easy. It's one of those games that you can look at and say, you showed me literally the entire game, like from beginning to end. There's no questions to be asked. But I think the last thing about it is just getting your hands on it, and then maybe things will change. But I'm gonna play it. If I have time, if I can get a group together and play. So yeah. Any other thoughts on Minecraft Legends?
None from me.
Nope.
Okay.
Yeah.
So this is a fun one. Oh boy. Forza Motorsport. Woof. This game looks sick. I'll say right now, I am not a big racing guy. But because this is like one of the most beloved. People love Forza. People who like Forza love Forza. Like there is no in between. You either love it or you just don't play it at all. And I have played it, and I want to get into what was it? Forza Horizon
5.
Was it 5?
Yeah.
5. Yeah,
The DLC is
I want to
amazing,
play
by
it
the
now.
way. The Hot Wheels DLC
Yes.
is amazing.
Yes.
Yeah, and that's something that yes, I'm just thinking about it. So I want to kick it off to someone who is very excited about this. I'll kick it off first. Assassin, what do you think about this?
Oh, I love that. I love it. Thanks. Sorry,
That's
Simon.
good.
Fuck y'all.
All right, just give it
Well,
your score and
moving
carry on. We know it's going to be a 1, so carry on.
Alright. No. Despite what you think, Mac, I actually Forza. Look, Mac already knows how I feel. I'm just gonna say it. I am a little sad that Forza didn't get its release date. I'm actually a little bit sad about that.
Yeah.
Only because it's gonna let Microsoft keep dragging it on. Just give people the release dates. That way we can finally just let Forza be put on ice for the rest of the generation. And well, that's all I have to say about Forza. But okay, from what I saw of the gameplay, the graphics, the passion of the team behind it, I'm honestly gonna give it an 8. I didn't honestly,
Wow.
I didn't fully pay attention because I had stuff going on in the background, but from what I did hear and understand, 500 cars.
Yep.
Is that the most cars Forza Motorsport has ever had, or?
I think they said it was the most. I think we're really close to it. But that's
Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
We're
Now
using
look,
assets.
like Rhett said, either love or hate Forza. I don't hate it. I just think someone else should take the reins in Xbox from Forza. Eventually that will come. But just on how much care and love the team is putting in for the fans of Forza Motorsport, I'm giving it an 8. And I'll just leave it at that. So, that's it. Carry on.
Okay, fantastic. Oh yeah.
Thank you for putting me on the spot.
That's great. That's great. Manic, why do you hate racing games too? Why does everyone hate racing games? Why do you hate this game?
Funny enough, I actually don't hate racing games. I actually am a sim racer, as you're aware. I do have a sim rig. I've done plenty of iRacing, and I've played Forza on the sim rig with the 3 monitors. I do like my racing games. Forza, I haven't fully decided on what score to give it because I feel like I haven't got enough information from what they have shown us to make a proper judgment, and I think the only time I would have a decent enough score is when I've got time to play it or maybe get hands on.
Right. I think if you have played the other Forzas, you could use deduction to know what it is, but I agree. If you don't know anything about it, really all they talked about was the tech and that it'll be running at 4K and a dynamic 60 frames with ray tracing.
With ray tracing, yes.
Yeah. Dynamic ray tracing, right?
I've got a good idea of what to expect, but because of what they did tell us and the new software and the new technology and the fact that they can implement tire damage, tire wear, tire pressure, all that adds to the grand scheme of it. So to actually get in there and play it would, like anybody else, you'll get a proper feel of where you are with it.
Yeah. Well said. Mac?
Well, I want to say that started off. I thought you were going to start off with me because the way you were explaining that, but I get it.
Right, that was the joke.
Yeah, that's why I laughed a little bit harder than normal. I'm definitely going to say a 10. We all knew this was. Everybody knows that I love Forza. Everybody knows that I'm a Forza fan. It is the best racing game ever made outside of Need for Speed Underground 2, which is just its own virtue of arcade. But 10, and the game looks beautiful. The only problem I had. There's two problems I had. We all know it's the date. Give us the fucking date. I want to say it louder. Give us the fucking date. That is the dumbest thing. I don't understand why they didn't do that. I don't know. I didn't watch the event that's going on Thursday sometime. I don't know what it was for Thursday. So I don't know. They might have explained it then, or they might have talked a little bit more about it, but I doubt it. And there was a phase they were talking like, oh, this is the best looking graphics, and then they kind of went into like the grass a little bit, and it was kind of a little bit like grainy. So I don't know if that was like a mistake in the video, or maybe or maybe it was just 1080p being stupid or whatever when I did. Yeah, I was thinking that, but that was the only thing. I didn't rewatch the 4K thing, but man, it was still the details of the cars, even in 1080, and then we're gonna get 4K 60 frames, real time. Ray tracing, which is amazing. You can see the cars just driving by and how beautiful it looks. The game's a 10. The biggest thing is they better have a fucking ton of locations. A lot of the problem with these motorsports games and why they die so fast and why people don't talk about them is because they'll add 12 or 13 maps and you'll race the same 12 or 13 maps and you'll get bored. So I know they added they said 5 or 6 new tracks. So if they at least give us 30 tracks, and they do a bunch with them 30 tracks, and you can get 100 different types of races, I think that's the only way they can succeed with it being over, the best racing game, simulation racing game ever, and it's already beat Gran Turismo 7, and it hasn't even came out yet. So, yeah, okay. I just want to throw that shade in there.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, go ahead.
That's good. I'm happy that you're excited. Your excitement is sort of intoxicating. It makes me excited and everyone's excitement made me excited. Like I said, it made me want to play Forza now, just to feel like I'm part of the excitement and the hype. Sapio, have you ever driven a car?
I've driven cars.
That's good. A race car by chance?
No racing cars, but I've driven at least 2 cars in my life. So
good.
As for racing games, I've only really played 2. I think I played Gran Turismo 2 on the PS2 and Mario Kart 8. are the only two.
Oh shit! The one and only racing game. Am I right?
The only
Mario
two
Kart, better
racing games that I've ever really played for an extended amount of time are those two games. So I don't have stock when it comes to Forza. It's not something that I've it's not something I've been interested in. But looks beautiful. It's very hard to tell apart from actual like real life footage. So it really does look beautiful. But I kind of understand where, say, Manic is coming from. Like, for racing games, I feel like the most important thing is how the game actually feels and drives in your hand and how it controls. So until we have that information, it's going to be very, very hard to judge. But based on everybody else's excitement and based on how it looks, I would give it like a solid 7.5 to an 8 in terms of excitement. Yeah.
One thing I do want to point out, what Max said earlier about the release date. There is a conspiracy going on about that release date. Apparently, if you look closely on the tile of the developer direct where it shows all the studios, and you look closely where turn 10 says coming 2023. Apparently, if you look closely at the G in the word coming, it looks more like a 6, and people apparently think it's coming in June.
So
honestly, after what happened with Hi-Fi Rush, which we'll talk about in a minute, it would not. I don't know how Mac would feel about this, and I have no idea if Turn 10 would even be risky enough to do it as much as Tango. But imagine they.
I also thought that it was odd that in the
E3
word
showcase
coming
in June.
In the word coming, they spelled it with a U, which was weird.
Okay, so I want to explain that a little bit. I'm not 100% going to say it's true or fake, but there's a couple G's that are spelled. Yeah, we heard that.
We're all
trying to talk here, man. I'm
derailing it. Go ahead.
Yeah, well, there's a couple G's that are similar to that, like 6-looking thing in it. In like the January 25th, like where it says like developer event that's gonna happen, it has a similar G in that event somewhere, whatever. I don't know exactly where it's at, but they have a similar G. But it could be like the plot twist. They could be like almost like decoding it around the whole thing and going, this is what it looks like. We're gonna catch you, and you know how people decode shit so fast. So I think it could be true, but I'm not 100% on it. It's like one of those 50-50, you know. You believe it, you don't, you don't. It's there's not enough proof on either end, you know?
Mac, do you think that the game that we're going to talk about next, do you think that was a test run if they've shadow dropped Forza Motorsport at E3 this year? Do you think that could be a test run?
It could be. It could be, and if it is,
hold on, let me rephrase that. Do you think
between,
that could be a test drive?
Well, yes, no pun intended. If it
I'm
did
proud
happen,
of you.
if it did happen, that would be the biggest shadow drop in the history of video games, because they don't do those. They don't do. I mean, how many times you hear a company go? It's like Halo Infinite did the multiplayer that day. Remember on November 15th last year, they're like, "Oh, play Halo multiplayer wise." Yeah, people were excited, 20 million people, but people kind of knew that was coming. Nobody would know the Forza shadow drop would come. Everybody kind of knew. There was a lot of rumors. You know, 343 is the they can't even wipe their own ass without telling people. So it's just, that's how they are in that whole developing team. Playground Games is pretty, they hide shit. Turn 10, excuse me. They hide stuff a little bit better than other companies. So yeah, I think it would be a little bit more better. It would be more like, oh wow, that really happened. It's not going to happen though. September, October it's coming out later. It still needs work. They would have set a date. I just don't think Microsoft knows that if they don't show a date and they shadow drop it, they're going to get bashed for not saying the day a little bit. I just don't think shadow dropping it is going to, I just don't see it happening. That's just my opinion. I don't know. It would be awesome. Let me best believe I'm calling off work that day after the next day. I'll tell you that. But that's besides it.
Sorry. Whenever we do a podcast, we have a habit of talking shit into existence. You go ahead, Manic.
No, I'm just about to say through Microsoft, what they've done is I wouldn't be surprised if it doesn't drop with a Forza console limited edition, because they did it with Halo.
I mean, yeah, I didn't think of that. That would be smart, but that's why I think the E3 thing would think they'll announce it, show it, and give people 3 months. You know, they kind of do the same thing with the Halo console. They said, oh, December 7th or whatever, and then the actual release date for it, and then they announced that it would come a little bit earlier, like the 15th, like the day it was supposed to, and they gave people 2 months. They have to give people a month or two to be ready to pay for something like that. You can't just shadow drop a console. So, because not many people just have money laying around saying, oh, I can't wait to buy this console that I might have. Instead, they have to pay their bills,
Yeah, bills suck. I hate bills. You know what? I don't need to live.
I wish I could put them under a rock and they just get paid. That's what I wish.
Yeah, we should just be able to live inside of our Xboxes, but they're greedy. They don't make them big enough.
Right. Even they're expensive enough. All the games.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That we apparently don't have.
All right, Red, what do you rate Forza Motorsport out of 10?
I hate it. No, I'm kidding. I would say it was an 8 out of 10. Again, everyone is super excited about it, and I'm not gonna be that guy that, because I don't subscribe to a certain genre of game, that I'm just gonna blow it. God, I'm trying to think of, oh God, don't stop talking. Don't blow it away with my mind. What the fuck is happening? I will play this game. I cannot deny the graphics. I can't deny the content. They said 500 cars. I agree with you. I hope that they bring in more tracks, because if you have 500 cars and 15 tracks, how many? Let's see. Do the math there. You had to test 37 cars or 35 cars per track. I don't know. That's probably not right at all. But yeah, so I would say I'm excited to try it out because I know everyone's going to be playing it. My point is that I'm never going to, because Forza is on Xbox, I don't think that there will ever be another racing game that will entice me. One thing that, for anyone out there that has never played Forza, one thing that, I don't know when they started doing this, but one thing that they do is they drop you. You don't start the game when you boot up the game. You don't start at a main menu screen. They literally drop you. Literally, I think in Forza Horizon 5, they literally drop you out of a bus or a helicopter or something, and you're just in the game. So there is no waiting, there is no starting and pressing start career or anything. That game drops you right into it, and you are just like, whoa! I gotta learn right off the bat, and it's such a great idea, because the way that the human brain works, you throw somebody into anything without thinking too much, you're already gonna come up with your preconceived notions about what you're about to experience. But they just throw you straight in like a Fast and Furious movie, and I love that. So I'm excited. I am actually very excited. I'm not a big racing guy, so that's how I feel about it. 8 out of 10. I think that's what I said. So any other thoughts on that?
Nope.
Good. All right. So this was the fun one. This one gave me a rush. Hi-Fi Rush. So we heard about this prior, because it kind of got leaked a little bit. And what's interesting is that when I pictured this game in my mind, because we heard, where did we hear it from? Someone said that it was like a Pentiment level indie passion project, right?
It was. So I think I was the one that told you guys this, either off screen or on camera, or on on the podcast, or off it.
On voice.
Jeff Grubb was the one with Special Nick during their Xbox era Christmas special last year that said that Tango Gameworks is working on a Pentiment level style game. They didn't know if it meant like quality or size. They just knew that it was a side project, a side passion project from a small team at a first-party studio, and they said it was Tango Gameworks. That's all they said at the time. Hi-Fi Rush was leaked, I think, a couple years back, because Bethesda trademarked it. No one knew exactly what that was at the time, but as of right now, as of recording, we now know it's a action rhythm beating style game from Tango Gameworks. Something completely new from that studio.
Yeah, a beating style game. I like that. literally in multiple ways. Yeah, so when they showed this game off, they were very self-aware with their with how they presented it. I loved how they said, from the developers of Evil Within, yeah, seriously, or something like that. And I was throughout the entire thing, I was smiling because right off the bat, I was like, they do this thing where he gets exploded, right? And he's flying towards the camera, and then it pauses, and then he's like, "You're probably wondering how I got here." I was like, "Here we fucking go, man! Don't do this." But they leaned into it and were very self-aware with it. It's very esoteric. It's got its it knows what it's doing. It's not like Forspoken, which we'll talk about that. But it knew what it was doing, and the more and more I watched it, I didn't even realize I'm staring there at the screen, smiling like an idiot, and I was like, I don't know why, it just made me feel good just watching it. And then at the very last second, they said, and it comes out now, pretty much. And it shadow dropped right in the middle of the show. And this is what I mentioned earlier with Microsoft saying, do what you want. We're gonna let it get weird. People are not gonna expect this from you. And the fact that TangoWorks actually pulled this game off shows their level of not diversity, but variety that they're capable of doing. So I'm really happy that they went straight from like Nightmare, Hell, Silent Hill, Resident Evil game to a Into the Spider-Verse, Jet Set Radio styled fun game like this. And I was so happy to see that, but I wasn't at first. But by the end of it, I was like, "This is awesome." So I'll go right to you, Sapio. What did you think about Hi-Fi Rush?
I couldn't have put it better myself. It gave me a rush. Watching.
Oh, got you high, made you rush.
Yeah, no, it felt like
nice.
Straight up heroin through my veins.
Good. That's good.
I love rhythm games and I love beat 'em ups. So to combine the two is, I think there was another game that did something similar to it, but I can't remember the title.
Sunset Overdrive?
Might be.
Guitar Hero.
Guitar Hero.
That's not an action game. That's not an
Guitar
action
Hero?
game. Yeah.
And do you not see that crowd in Guitar Hero? That crowd. That's
I do want to beat people up in Guitar Hero. That is very true. When I don't get the combo, the combo gets. Yeah, but to put the two together and in such a very, just a fun, energetic atmosphere. I rated a 9. Maybe even 10 actually.
Wow. Yeah.
That make time to play it though.
Yeah, I didn't have to play it.
Didn't have time to play it, he said.
Yeah.
Well, okay. Well, I guess you don't have too much else to say other than you want to play it. You're excited.
Oh
it's a
yeah.
10 out
No,
of 10.
I want to play it as soon as possible. Yeah.
That's awesome. That is so cool. Manic. So I want to go straight from positive to pure hatred and just loathing. Manic, you had a chance to try this game. What'd you think about Hi-Fi Rush?
Well, my honest first opinion. Well, basically, we were introduced to it. They showed us, and I was interested in it. But honestly, as soon as he said rhythm-based, it was like the lights had gone out. I was like, ugh. I don't know why. I don't know why. Now I have give it a chance. I've tried it, and it is very funny. I do get the comedy side of it. I don't think I've seen a character thrown against a wall so many times in the first hour of playing it.
Yes,
and
love that.
I can see where it's got its appeal, but for me, no, it's just. I've tried it, I've played it. It's just not for me. The rhythm stuff, yeah. But I can see why people would like it.
I will say, they are aware of people's qualms with it, and so they said, do not feel rushed. Don't feel pressured to be on beat. Even if you're off beat, it's not going to affect anything. Instead, what they've done is they've said, if you do stay on beat, it will be a bonus to damage and style and flair and whatever. So if you just wanted to play the game and just smash things at whatever pace that you wanted to, they allow that, and they're very open about this. So just maybe.
Yeah,
maybe,
I did, and at some point I actually found me almost stumbling on the rhythm, even though I wasn't trying to get onto the rhythm. It was just something that progressed. But no, it's a fun game. I get hats off to him for the creativeness of trying to create something that stands out in what is almost a bloated market with horror, action, RPGs, and then last couple of years battle royales. So no, I give him hats to it, but it's not for me.
Fair. Mac.
Well, I'm gonna be some bad news here. I'm not excited for it as what I thought it was gonna be. I'm gonna give it a 6. I'm gonna put it right 5. I don't want to say 5 because I'm gonna try it. It looks like it's playable, but it's just I'm kind of like, I don't know. I'm not sold on it yet, but I also haven't had the time to play it. I've been everybody knows I've been back to work and stuff. And yesterday, everybody was just so hyped up to talk about what was going on. I never really got the chance to fully play anything yesterday when I had time. It looks great. The game looks. I love Jet Set Radio. If that's what it's I don't care what anybody said. Sunset Overdrive was one of my favorite games I've ever played for the Gen 8 consoles. It was so good. So I definitely have potential to play it, but the thing is, I'm kind of with Manic on this. Manic, I don't know if you remember us. You were in there also, Red. When they said rhythm, I was like, okay, that might be bad for the game. That might actually undermine the game a little bit. The game could be just a hack and slash Jet Set Radio, but they put that rhythm in there, and I think it might throw people off. People might hate it, but like Sapio just said, he likes them beat 'em up rhythm games. Well, I don't know. There's not many of them that I really know of, but every time I have played a rhythm game, not really cared for it as much as I liked other games. So I'm going to play it tonight once this podcast is over, and maybe next week, and I'll talk a little bit more positive about it. But right now, I'm just going to give it a 6. Not overboard hyped about it, but I think it's another thing is, like me and Assassin said before the show, it might have got the hype it is because it's all Xbox really has had for a while. So, yeah, High on Life, whatever, that's the situation. Great game, but what really has Xbox had? So it might have been just like, it's kind of like you giving a baby candy for the first time, and it's like, oh my God, or then you don't give it to them again for 2 years, and then you give it to them again, they're like, oh my God, I missed this. So it might be that hype train might be a little higher than what people are putting to be. Now, I'm not saying that's not the case, but that's for me. I'm keeping my expectations a little bit lower than everybody else until I do play it.
All right, and then the baby gets hooked on drugs because it had that sugar rush and it wants it.
No, that baby was born with drugs. Sorry, okay, carry on.
Oh, gotcha. Good. And that's it. No, I'm just kidding. Assassin, my son, how do you feel about Hi-Fi Rush? I don't think you had the chance to play it, but how do you feel about it? Did it tickle you? Did it tickle you in good places?
I did not have a chance to play it because I had a family emergency going on at the time, but I did. I have it downloaded. It actually just finished downloading just a second ago. I can't wait to play it.
Here's a live review. Let me click over.
No. I don't do live reviews. That's Mac's job. But from what I saw and from what I understand, I'm gonna give it a 9. Here is something that I do want to point out to Mac because he said it's just the hype. I told you on Twitter before we started the show. Tons of people are already saying that game is their game of the year. I don't know if that's exaggerated or not, but from what they've said and what they've shown, how they described the game, how they felt about it, the rhythm, the music, the overall atmosphere, the gameplay mechanics, people are really loving this game. And Benji Sales on Twitter, he actually reported earlier today, Hi-Fi Rush is already in the top 5 on Steam.
Yeah,
beating out Forspoken.
It was 9 this morning, and then by the time noon or 1 o'clock, it jumped up to 5. Yeah, I did see that.
And it's not free on Steam.
For a shadow drop. For a shadow drop from $30, that's also in Game Pass. This game is doing amazing. So there is definitely hype behind it.
Oh,
There's
I'm not
definitely
saying
no
that.
interest in the game
But that's the
behind
point. That's my point of why I was saying, like, people haven't played an Xbox game in over a year. Halo was the last Xbox game they come out with, and we all know how that kind of tended to be. So I love it, but a lot of people didn't like it. But it's like I said, it's like almost like giving a baby some candy and then taking it away, giving it back a year later, a year and a half later. It's the baby's gonna be like, wow, this is still the best thing I ever tasted, even though it might be a turd. You know what I'm saying? It's just, I don't know.
Babies like poop.
I'm just not as hyped as everybody else. And I'm not taking it from anybody that's like, oh, this fucking game is the best game in a while. Well, clearly it's been a while for Xbox. So, and I'm not. It's just not for me. It's the
first. Sorry, it's the first rhythm-based game we've had this year, but we had one last year, didn't we? Hellgate.
Hell, yeah. Oh, you mean Hell Metal Slinger is what you're talking about?
Yes, sorry. Yes.
Yeah. And I didn't like that game. I liked the music was the only thing that was good. The only and somebody, and I remember, I don't know if it was Monad or maybe Boba, I forgot who it was. One of the guys had a conversation. I said the same thing. I said the music was great in it, but the gameplay sucked ass. So it's kind of, that's why I fear with this game. Yeah, it might have a good thing, but the part of the rhythm problem is I don't want to fucking sit there and have to be like X, like I gotta keep in the same. Why not fucking X? I want to do that. It's a hack and slash game, you know. They say you can still do that, but that's not how you. Yeah. It's not how you play those games. You're gonna get your ass kicked by the AI, you know. Mainly if you're playing on harder difficulty.
I couldn't fucking get Hellsinger to work. I went into the settings. I did the latency test. I was like, fuck this fucking game, man. I wanted to like it, but I'm like, I feel like melee games are always going to work a lot better whenever it comes to rhythm-based games. Yeah. But so again, I think this could be a case of Guardians of the Galaxy. We talked recently about how Marty McFly. Guardians of the Galaxy was my 2021 game of the year. I loved that game. It was. I laughed. I cried. I peed. I pooped. I did all the bodily functions as I was playing the game, and it was a wonderful experience. So if anyone is worried about pooping your if anyone is ever worried about being pushed away from, like the rhythm-based games aren't for me. Again, even if you don't want to focus on that, you can still enjoy the game. I think that even whenever you play on different difficulties, there are some settings that changes, some automatic combo. It's sort of like Devil May Cry. Like if you ever play Devil May Cry, you have like easy mode where certain abilities will activate much more easily without you having to manually activate them. And I think that's the case with this game. So yeah, Hi-Fi Rush. Did I say how I felt? I think I just did. That was it. That's how I feel about it. I love it. I played about an hour and a half of it, and I love it so far. I love it. I'll just say this and then we can move on. I am so impressed with the visuals and the actual animation of it. They did this really smart thing that Persona does. Persona does it on a more grander scale, I think, just because it's few and far between whenever anime actually does pop in. But it is animated during cutscenes. And then whenever it goes to gameplay, it's much more like Spider-Verse, kind of, with the cell shading and stuff and the frame rate. I am so impressed with the actual animations of the face, and it doesn't feel like an indie game at all to me. It feels like a AAA game. Obviously, it's a AAA company, but I don't know what else there is to say. The game is great. It's such a feel good game. There's nothing. It's either for you or not for you. Again, like we talked about with Forza. So any other thoughts on Hi Guy Russian?
One more thought. Remember a couple weeks ago during, I don't remember if it was podcast episode 1 or 2. Maybe someone can go back and look at it. Remember how when we were talking about Scalebound, I think that was actually last week. I don't remember. Remember how I said that if Xbox had a first-party Japanese game, it would do well, or how if they announced one, it would get a lot of hype.
Magic happens on this podcast.
Yep. What did Microsoft do? They not only announced a Japanese first-party game, but released it the same day. When was the last time one of the big three, if ever, shadow dropped a AAA first-party game just out of nowhere? Sony hasn't done it. Nintendo hasn't done it. Microsoft, I think, is actually the first one to do it.
I think they've done
And
it
I
before.
gotta give them
done
props
this
for that.
Can't
before.
remember the game.
Yeah, they've done it before, but what was it? What was it?
No, it was
Fallout
an
Shelter.
E3. No, it was an E3, I think.
Oh,
Yes.
Shelter does not count. That's a multi.
Oh,
No, there was another game.
but it was still shadow dropped by a now owned Microsoft studio. But that game blew up and destroyed the whole.
Was it
entire
Dirt
universe.
Rally? It was Apex. I think Apex Legends was the
Apex
big
Legends.
one. It was Apex.
Yeah, but I'm talking about
Oh.
the main three.
Wait, the main. Oh, you're talking about the
Big
actual
three.
big company.
I'm talking about the console manufacturers, Microsoft,
Yeah,
Sony,
yeah.
and Nintendo.
Yeah. I'm trying to think. Was it Kirby? I think it was a Kirby game, and Quake. I don't know if you count Quake as a head game. Quake 2001 remastered
yeah.
was a drop.
No,
trying
I'm
to-
talking about a new AAA IP.
Oh,
Right, unadvertised, unmarketed, absolutely
Yeah.
nothing. Just boom,
Think.
here it is. Right.
Oh, let me think.
What a ballsy move, dude. God.
I don't like I
Good for
said.
them.
Only thing I can think of, the last thing I could think of, and it's gonna sound weird, but we're going back to maybe the Wii, the game. What the heck's that? The Wii U. It was called the NX Remix. It was like a fucking weird game. They just randomly just put it on the show, and it was like, it sold well. But I don't remember the other game. I can't. Yeah, Shelter, Apex, Dirt Rally was another one.
Five.
Tetris. Yeah, Tetris 99 was another one. Super Kirby Clash was another one. I'm not sure. I can't think of the other ones that's been recent within the last few years, but I don't think it was anything major. I don't think any company that out of the three big ones, I think all of these are like small, not small, but smaller studios, like studios that are like I don't know, like Tetris 99 doesn't need 400 developers to make. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't, but it's a Nintendo game, so that could be the. In all reality, the only game that was probably I'm gonna say is Tetris 99. It was that Tetris game where you played 1v1 with random people online. About 2 years ago, it come out, maybe 3. It come out for the Switch, but outside of that, I couldn't really tell you. That was I think it was like 2019 is when it come out. So
Regardless, we got to give Microsoft props to this and Tango Gameworks. The fact that they actually managed to keep this a secret, like I said before, the game had
Was
leaked
it,
years
though?
earlier.
it was, but it wasn't though. Wasn't it somebody like a week prior, 2 weeks prior? Kind of said, was it Jeff Grubbs that said it? I think it might have been 3 weeks prior.
It was Jeff Grubb said it would get announced within the first quarter of
Yeah,
Microsoft for 2023.
I think it was
but
announced, but never shadow dropped, as we'll say. Nobody knew it was just
yes,
going to get put on.
no
the
one
game.
knew.
Yeah.
No one knew it was going to be shadow dropped.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So that's really exciting. I'm really happy for not only Tango but for Microsoft, Xbox altogether.
Tango over
Because
Platinum.
that's crazy. That's crazy. That's crazy stuff that it went to Steam where people are paying for it. And it's still doing really well. I love that. I love that so much.
Yeah, people came into the show thinking, "Oh, Arcane is going to steal the show." Oh no, turn 10, and then all of a sudden Tango comes up and like, "Nope, it's going to be Tango." And they did.
Right. Yeah. That's fantastic. That is fantastic. I'm gonna Tango with that game. Yeah. So let's
Good one.
move on to Elder Scrolls Online. And we're done. That's it. No, Elder Scrolls Online. I don't know really how to approach this.
Can I start this though? When you do pick one of us, I want to be the guy.
Please.
Okay, so I can start it now.
Please go.
Okay, I'm gonna give this game a 10, and then I'm gonna give it a fucking 1. They
Yeah.
bamboozled the fuck out of everybody. You had to. I'm gonna give it a listen. The game Elder Scrolls Online is a great game. I'm gonna ramp a little bit here because I know I get rampy a little bit. Elder Scrolls Online is not a bad MMO. Okay, people might bitch and complain because they want Skyrim 10,000 times. Whatever, I get it. Great, Skyrim's amazing, which is understandable.
Yeah.
That's what they wanted. But ESO is a great MMO game. It's amazing. But the way they portrayed the DLC, I remember there was like 10 of us in the party, and everybody's like, they announced, "Oh, get all the DLC, the chapters, and everything during this event." And they didn't really say the event; they just said chapters. You get all these with Game Pass. And all of a sudden, I'm like, everybody's like, "Oh yeah, I'm gonna fucking play this. Go! I don't have to buy all those DLC. I don't really have the money to buy them anyway because they're so fucking expensive." And then you look at the fine print, and it says for a trial of the event that's going on. So they pretty much bamboozled him. It's almost like that frying pit. Like you come down here and you have to spend $10, but we're gonna take $10 more from your account, kind of situation.
And we're back. Sorry, technical difficulty. Mac, please continue with your rant.
ESO still sucks, no matter what our technical difficulties. The freaking Bethesda and their I forgot the studio that makes it ramped as an FBI does for a second there. I just, you know what? ZeniMax, yeah, I couldn't remember it. And I don't know. I'm just irritated where they kind of bamboozled us. Red Panda,
Ooh.
if Red Panda, I text her, she's like, oh, I'm gonna stream it and stuff like that. And I said, hey, do you know about this? She said she did. So it's like some people knew, but like there was 10 people in our party and nobody knew about that. And that was crazy for them to do that and then go, oh, it's only during the free event for 2 weeks. And that's like, listen, that's almost like saying they're just trying to get you to con you in to come and play it and then buying all the DLC, which I don't have a problem with. But make it bold print, make it bigger. I want to see when it says that, not hide it under some lettering and some picture that I can barely see it, you know? All right, sorry. But listen, on a standpoint level, the game's like a 7. I mean, the DLC looks really good. It looks they're bringing the big old dragon and stuff in there. But if you played it, you played it. If you're gonna play it's MMO, you're gonna play it. If you're not, you're not. If they would have gave us the DLC and all the DLC, I might have considered doing it. But where they bamboozled me, I'm probably never gonna download it again. So that's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah, I thank you for saying all that, and all that is true. I hope. I'm pretty sure it's true. So that sucks when it comes to, I don't like that. I don't like that. Hey, everything is, you can now play all of our DLCs for free, kind of. But they say it like, kind of. Bullshit. But without all the bad news out of the way, ESO has incredible support. It's crazy to me that game, not that it's crazy that it's still going, but I'm just happy that it is going, because I remember being excited for it way back when I don't know, God, how long has that game been out? Like 9 years now or something like that?
Almost 10. But I think it's 9. It came out in like 2014.
Oh, I was like, what are you talking? Okay, yeah,
no, I'm gonna say 16 and maybe 15. I would say. There's no way. It's 2012. Holy shit, May 3rd, 2012.
So
wow.
10 years, 12.
Oh no, but hold on. Let me stop. It's been 10. It's been more than 10 years. It's May 3rd for 2012, but it was released April 4th for Windows and Mac. So it was announced on May 3rd, came out April 4th, and didn't come to consoles till June 9th, 2015, and later was ported over to Stadia, which now is dead. So 2014, April 4th, and then, which is my anniversary, by the way, with my wife. And June 9th, 2015 is when it was announced, which came to console. So that's okay. So it's almost 10 years old. It's 9. So you guys, I didn't think it was more than 10, but it's very close. That's crazy.
Yeah, so for one, you guys know I love Elder Scrolls, everything Bethesda. I just will suck them off all day. But I'm not a big MMO guy. Well, yeah, I'm not a big MMO guy. I'm gonna say like I tried to get into it. I did. I've gotten into it and gotten out of it many times, and I think the thing is that it doesn't hook me a lot because I'm playing by myself, and every time that they show an MMO and they say, oh, look at this, and it's a bunch of your friends in a dungeon, it doesn't work like that in real life. I'm sorry, I don't care unless you just don't do anything and you have a lot of time to schedule out playing with MMOs. And we'll talk later about how I feel about co-op and how that experience is ruined for me in a lot of ways, just in general. But Elder Scrolls Online has a ton of content, and this, I'm happy for the people and excited for the people that are happy for what's coming. But this for me felt weird because it felt like because they didn't have a lot, that they used it as a platform to advertise their next expansion. Just because they didn't have, like Elder Scrolls has been out for a long time, so it's not like, I don't know. It felt weird. Anytime ESO has ever, it's not for me. It's not for me. I love it, Elder Scrolls Online, but I can't stick with it for too long. I have to come back to it. Plus, the game is 174 million gigs. It's ridiculous. So anyway, I'll shut up because there's not a whole lot to say about this. But Manic, well, how do you feel about Elder Scrolls Online? Have you ever tried it?
Yes, I've played Oblivion, played Elder Scroll Online for a bit, and it is a fun game. And yes, it's heavily based on a community type. Jump in with your friends, go and do the big quests. What they did with the DLC is a bit of a sleazy thing, but they're just trying to bring attention to their game. But if I wouldn't go back to it, if I was going to go back to anything like that, I'd go back and play Guild Wars 2. I enjoy that more than Elder Scroll. There's just too much. Yeah, it's a daunting game. But no, I do like them and I have played them, so I've got nothing wrong with the game. It looked nice, but no, it's an old game. Like you say, the original came out 2012. You were saying? So,
Something like that.
2012 was when it was announced. 2014 is when it was released on PC and Windows and Mac. And then 2015, like June, was Xbox and PlayStation 4.
Yeah, so 8 years on console.
Yeah.
Yeah. Are you, Manic, you said Guild Wars. Are you a big MMO guy otherwise? It's just the ESO isn't your thing?
Yeah. I wouldn't say I'm a big MMO guy, but I do play them. You know, I played through the first Guild Wars and I really liked it. Unfortunately, I've referred myself to this a lot. When it comes to gaming, I am a cash cow. I will buy the games, I will buy the DLC, I will buy everything for certain games, and I did that with Guild Wars 2, and then they released it as a free game, didn't they? So
yep.
But no, I do like them.
Cool. But this ESO for you is just kind of like, you know, doesn't hit the spot, doesn't
No, I don't know. When I think of it, I don't know. The quickest response I could give you is been there, played it, done it. It's okay. Move on.
Fair. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Assassin, how are you doing? You feeling okay?
Doing all right.
Okay. Did you drink enough milk?
No, I drank my Jack Daniel's cherry limeade. Thank you very much.
Good. All right. Well, a splash of milk
Good
will help
stuff.
you, son. A little calcium in your bones and balls.
Mm-hmm. No, I
Is that
prefer
where
water.
calcium goes?
About ESO though, look,
Yeah, that.
He says,
I've tried ESO before by myself. The content to me is kind of overwhelming, especially since they keep adding on new content every year. I just like, there's no point in trying to catch up. I don't have any friends to play with it, so that just deters me from it even more. What they did with the DLC, at first when they said, oh, we're just going to put it on Game Pass, I thought the same thing that the other people in the party did, even though I wasn't actually in the party. I thought, oh, so they're going to make it free to download. So you're saying that everybody that spent all their money in the past 8 years did it for nothing. And then that's what I thought. Until, like Mac pointed out, I saw later on it said free trial, and I thought the exact same thing he did. I'm like, oh. So you just kind of scammed everybody with FOMO.
Yep.
That's
Right.
equally as bad.
That's a
But
great
let's not forget.
FOMO. Yeah.
Let's not forget. Bethesda, they're still independent, even under Microsoft. This is on them. Mostly, I'd say about 85% of the blame is on them. Microsoft maybe 15. It's still a scummy thing to do, but Bethesda, they knew what they were doing. Matt Fire and the team at ZeniMax Online, they knew what they were doing. But overall, when it comes to the game itself, I'm going to give it a 4. Like I said, got no friends to play with. It looks overwhelming to me. And it's not for me.
Yeah.
But maybe it is. I'm glad to the 20 million plus people that do play it consistently.
Yeah.
I mean, good for you.
Oh, it's got its
I think it was
community.
200 billion is what they said. Sorry, go
No,
ahead,
it was
man.
20 million.
200
Oh.
billion, bro. What?
They
Well,
lied again. That's twice they lied. Twice.
Bro,
God.
well, first of all, if you believe that, you're stupid. So.
Oh, man. These companies these days, am I right? Manic, what were you saying?
I mean, there's a lot of bots in this world, but 200 bots are a lot.
Yeah.
All right, Go ahead, Manic. Sorry, man.
No, it's fine.
You can go ahead now. We're asking you how you think about it.
You can go on ahead. No, well, I thought you were going to say something, Manic, and you...
No, sorry.
Perfect, wonderful. Sapio, what's your favorite race in Elder Scrolls? What do you like the lizard people, don't you?
Gotta say, not the biggest fan of the lizard people. So I haven't really played a lot of
The poor
general. I'm not a huge
poor
fan of them.
Argonians.
I don't even know, man. Like, so here's the thing. I haven't even been able to get through Skyrim. Like, it's my first time playing it. Like halfway into last year, and I'm having a hard time getting through it because it's just it feels.
You mean because you're hard the entire time, right? While playing it, because it's so good.
Wow.
Unfortunately, that is not the case.
Welcome to the Renegade Sus Podcast.
Welcome to the Renegade Sus Podcast. I'm your horny ghost. Ghost?
You did say you were very excited at the beginning.
This is where, see, the thing is, they've all been drinking prior to this, and this is why they're acting like this.
Everyone is high as fuck. We are just... That's... There we go. I'm sorry.
Save come down and I bend over. Sorry.
Oh my god, yes. I love this. I love it.
We have been
commoditized.
Yeah,
Spotify,
in the air,
ads
put you-
such as
yeah.
Trojan, Lube Life, Magnum. Go ahead. Sorry, Sapio, go ahead. So you were saying how much fun you were having playing.
So, okay, so when I am having fun, I am having fun, obviously. But the problem is, like, for me during Skyrim, it's few and far between, unfortunately. Possibly because the UI is just not something that I'm very used to, and the way the game progresses forward, it's just not something that it feels very antiquated. It feels like the basis of, like, it feels like the beginning of a lot of really cool RPGs, and it's where it started off with. But it feels a lot like an uncut gem, and I'm having a hard time getting past that and just enjoying the game itself. I love that. Yeah, that's a cat.
So you don't like Khajiits, eh? Tell that to Saga, my pussy. Well, he doesn't like that. No, he's like, no, that's enough of that.
What?
Go ahead.
So yeah. So I'm very impartial to it, so I'd probably give it like a 5. And I also do have to leave soon to talk with some prominent political figures. But
oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Well, let's go ahead and just get them out of here with after that, so then we just don't have to cut back over if you just want to go ahead and leave, Sapio.
Yeah, if you got to get out of here, Big Papa, it's all good.
I will say before I go,
Yes, sir.
Redfall's a solid 10 for me.
Okay. Yeah, we didn't get to that. Sorry.
Thank you.
Wait.
Yeah.
So I got to say that.
Well,
All right. Cool.
well, Sapio, thank you for joining us, and we'll see you next week, hopefully. And I will vote for you since you're going to go through election process right now. And
He's going to be the president of South Korea.
Oh my fucking god! Yes.
Hey, at least I didn't say Japan or. At least I didn't say Japan or China. Sound racist.
At least you're accurate.
At least I said the right one. What the fuck?
Right.
I could have said
That's
North
totally
Korea and
fair.
made him a racist.
He ain't lying.
Motherfucker, he lives in the northeast
He ain't
of
lying.
the
I
United
don't care.
States.
I don't care. He's still gonna be the president.
I am excited for you, Sensei.
Good luck. I don't know what
Senpai,
you're
whatever
I don't know what we're
whatever.
talking about, but good luck on it.
Yes. Thank you. I'll talk to you later, buddy.
Thanks, Sapio.
Bye.
See you, bud.
For having
Bye-bye.
next week.
Later.
Bye-bye.
Oh, finally, he's gone. Am I right? Ugh.
Yeah.
So now let's get
North
into
Korea is my favorite other country. Sorry. Okay.
favorite other country. I like that. My one only other
Hey,
favorite.
let's see if
country.
he says something to me about it. Let's see if he watches the podcast to see what he says. Nobody tell him. Just let him say something to me about it.
I've told people that I've talked to, like, I'll know if you watch because I'm gonna give you a shout out, and so shout out to you, Last Resort, if you got this far. If you know. And shout out to you, Techmancer. You know who you are. You know who you
Oh,
are.
Tech, my boy Tech.
Tech, yeah, you know.
You know who? You know. Does Assassin know Tech? I think Manic knows Tech.
No, I don't think he's met Tech yet.
No.
But that's
I've
that's
met
good
a
friend
lot
mine.
of people in the community, but
He said
that,
Tech has sent me nudes like 2 minutes after meeting him. I was very surprised
Yep.
about that. I
Yeah,
like,
he
bro,
was
yeah.
happy. He was proud to do it.
Direct to nudes.
I know.
Okay. Oh, sorry, we're getting
Yeah.
over topic. Sorry, Tech. Sorry, we didn't mean to talk
Yeah,
about
so-
it like that.
It's okay, but I'll post them in the Discord right after the show. But yeah, shout out. So Redfall, that is a game. Now that's a game right there, baby. Oh man, we have a lot to say on this. I know. So I won't start because I want to start with eeny, meeny, miny, Manic. Let's hear what you have to say about Redfall. How did you
Everything
Redfall?
you know, Manic. Everything you know or love about it or hate about it.
I probably know about as much as what you guys know, probably less. Because to be truthful, over the couple of years they've drip feeded what they have to us. It's been not game footage, so I've you know when you see something but you don't register it. Well, that's what I've been with it. It's only what we saw yesterday that it actually caught my eye, and 1 minute it's like Call of Duty and the gun mechanics, and next minute you're creeping around with a silenced pistol, and it just it does look real good, and I'm very interested in it. Very.
What did you have any takeaway? Any takeaways? Things that immediately pop into your head after watching that direct, Manic, that you thought, okay.
Well, it's very creative. Some of the bosses that it showed you within the clips, they were like, that was like, wow, it looked very good, very polished, and just the character dynamic looked good, and they also announced there was going to be 2 new characters going to be added to the roster as well.
That's right. Yeah, talk about getting your skimpies in a bundle or whatever they say. That was surprising because they didn't talk about that. I feel like if they had, it might have just taken away. It might have just been a big distraction as far as what they wanted to show on the vanilla version of the game.
Yeah.
But yeah, so you're excited. You
Yes,
like what
definitely.
You saw.
And I like my horror genre. I like the vampire. I'm
Yeah.
into that. And like I say, what we'd seen before was just clips of. I don't think there was really game clips, not like we've just seen.
Right.
So,
No, that was the deep dive that we were
Yes.
wanting.
yes.
So
and
Mac, how did you feel watching this? How did you sleep after watching this?
Well, I slept about 3 hours last night. I will say that.
That's
only 'cause
thanks to
I like
Redfall.
No, definitely not that. It's because I wouldn't shut the fuck up and we were all laughing. In parties.
Big party.
I'm gonna say a 9 out of 10. I'm not gonna give it a 10. The game looks amazing. Games tend to have like that blind fire where they like to show in trailers, and I hate that because when you ADS, the game kind of looks poopy.
Oh, hip fire, right? I got you.
Yeah,
Yeah, I got
blind
you.
fire,
Yeah.
hip fire, same shit. It's well,
Yeah,
not really same
yeah,
shit, but I hate that. And they did something with the guns. They zoomed in on the gun, and there was a time frame where he shot like 20 bullets real quick, and it didn't look so bad. Like how sometimes games look like Crossfire X. Game looked horrible. This game did not look bad. It looked like you could control the gun. The gun looked really smooth. We all know you can't just rapid fire an M16 or an M4 in real life and expect it to be as accurate as what it would be in a video game. But it still looked good, and it still looked like it was quality made game. Love it. I don't like horror games. We talked about Dead Space. I'm scared shitless to play it. I don't want to play it. I will play this. I like Resident Evil games. That's the closest horror games I really get to. That and Alan Wake. This game looks good, man. I love it. When's the last time we got a great vampire game? Like I said, we talked about it a few weeks ago. Vampire, all that. This game just looks amazing. But the biggest flaw, and I'm sure Red's gonna bring it up too, is that stupid ass Ubisoft bullshit they bring with Far Cry games, where if you play co-op, it doesn't progress the other person's character. I don't understand. I don't get if. Okay, it wouldn't bother me. Okay, if like say for example, me and Red are playing. He plays on my co-op game. All right. Now I join Red, and he has a character that was just like the character he played in that game is a level 10 in his game, and then my character could be a level 10 in his game instead of like my character's level 10 in this game, and then I join him and it's whatever level he is. I don't want that. I don't, or whatever. However, I don't know if they're gonna have shit like that in that game, but
for scaling, level scaling.
Yeah, I'm fine with that. But yeah, the story mode kind of sucks. But it should be like Halo Infinite. Like that's for once I'm actually going to use Halo Infinite's co-op system to advantage over everybody else. They did it right.
There you go.
If you did not have like, if one person didn't have that, it showed up on the map. Even if you had it, it showed up on the map, right? So you did it, and then it went away. And then if you went there, it's the same, and then that's it. It's over with. Everybody's save data gets that cleared, even if you already had it cleared. Like, you could do it again with your buddies. Why don't every game have it like that? Why is cross progression and story based not, and like side quests are not transferred? That is my only flaw with that game. Hopefully they fix that, or hopefully they hear from the community that's gonna clearly bitch about it. Xbox is a bunch of crybabies when it comes to stuff like that. Clearly, I'm bitching right now. But they need to bitch louder. They need to bitch a little louder for that. That's my only problem with it. But outside of that, the game looks good. I'm going to probably play as the Deadeye sniper guy. Jacob, I think's his name.
Everyone's going to. I am too. Everyone's going to play.
I am.
People pretty much talked about the guy with the black light didn't really, like, you just set the black light and blinds him. I don't care about that. Well, I want to blow somebody's fucking head off with a sniper rifle.
Right.
I know everybody can play as the same character. So all four of us, if we were all playing together, we all could play as the sniper guy. We all could play as the girl with the afro, like the curly afro. We could play with the guy with the yellow jacket, and I forgot what the other character is. Didn't look into. Yeah, they all went deep. I didn't do a super deep dive on the game. I just know it looks good. That's all I need to know. I've seen enough.
Vendor and Remy.
Yeah, I've seen enough.
I do know someone who wants to play the yellow dog.
Can you play the yellow dog? I don't know if you can.
We was in the chat yesterday.
No.
Oh, I didn't know you could play it. The dog looked weird when it was spinning around like a helicopter, and it was distracting the. I don't know if it was humans or if it was vampires. They kind of was a distance away when he was popping them. And that's another thing. The silencers sound really good, by the way, which is really weird for a game to have. Like, I don't know. Arcane's a beast. I don't care. They make great games, so I don't know. So
I noticed that when someone when they showed the shooting of the enemies, it didn't take a whole lot to kill an enemy. So what I'm hoping for is, well, I'm sure that they did have it on easy, but what I'm hoping for is I much rather prefer me as a player to take almost the same amount of damage as the enemy if it means that I don't have to put 1,000 bullets into you. So meaning I don't care if I die in a reasonable amount of hits that the enemy is dealing, as long as I don't have to shoot you 1,000 times. And that's kind of what it looked like, but we didn't really even see the player take damage. They're probably invincible mode because they don't want to show the the red outline damage indicators. So I do hope that the damage is balanced really well. But Assassin, what did you think? What do you think? What are you thinking about?
Well, I'm gonna give it a 9 out of 10. The gunplay, like Max said, it looked pretty polished. And it makes sense considering Arcane asked its software for help with their gunplay, because they even admitted that's one of their weaker points in previous Arcane games, like Dishonored, Prey, Deathloop. Like if you compare Redfall's gunplay mechanics to the previous ones, you can obviously see a difference. The character progression, like the individual trees. I really did like that mechanic. I'm not entirely too familiar with Arcane's games. I know I've played Dishonored before, and I played a little bit of Deathloop, but they didn't really have RPG tree mechanics in those previous games, so that's definitely something that Arcane Austin decided to implement this time.
Right.
Story-wise, yeah. I'm interested to learn exactly how these vampires came to be. I'm interested, on the open world aspect. They did say that there will be safe areas with survivors, so it'd be interesting to know their stories, because we know Arcane loves to tell a good story, whether it be through characters or through main story, or even through the atmosphere of the game. Like you can feel an Arcane game when you play it. That's
right.
It's how unique Arcane is, I guess I should say. But everything that they showed yesterday, compared to what they've shown before, I'm more excited than I was before the Direct. So I'm giving Arcane and Redfall a 9.
Wow. It looks like that sort of seems to be the consensus, right? Everyone's really excited about it. I, for one, am very... I was much more excited after seeing this than I was beforehand. Like Max said, though, it really was the progression that killed it for me. And it's not because I'm not, I don't really get to play a whole lot of multiplayer games a lot of times, or just I am more of a single player guy, it seems. So seeing this, the elimination of that kind of did deflate me a little bit, but I'm just gonna treat it as a single player game and just have fun with it. And what I saw looked great, and a lot of the stuff that they showed us, it was just the one player, just playing by themselves. It didn't do that division thing where it did all the fake, hey Lisa, come over here and look at this. Whoa, but what if I throw down a trap? And they didn't do all that thing. They just showed the game and what it's about. And I'm really excited about it. It looked a lot more weighty, like Arcane is known for. It's known for its weightiness. And it didn't. The art style is much more modern looking, which is cool. Because I don't think they've done that at all, really, ever. Actually, now that I'm thinking about it. So yeah, I'm excited. I'm very excited. Coming May 2nd. All right.
Yeah.
May 2nd. Redfall.
I caught it.
So yeah,
I caught it.
He called it. Yeah, everyone, Macbound, he is the one. He is the one.
Called it, even though it leaked months ago. He called it.
I said it was going to be late March, and then they said they delayed it 6 weeks. I was like, well, there's only 2 dates, and naturally it makes sense because they don't want to go against Zelda. And I said it was going to be the 2nd. So I was right.
All right, well, we have some things to get through here. So if anybody has any other thoughts on Redfall or the Direct at all, speak up or die.
It was an A- show.
Yeah, that's fair.
It was the best showing of Xbox in many of years.
B+.
Manic?
Yeah, B.
Yeah.
Okay. Just a solid B.
Forza Motorsport had just gotten its release date, so it could just move on. It would have been an A-.
I think it would have been an A plus
Oh
for
my
me
God.
if it would have been that. And I agree with him, though. That's the only downfall with the whole
fair.
thing. And that plus the ESO bullshit.
It was a bit fluffed in terms of those two. Yeah, I do agree. Okay, well, I mean, I'll give it a B+. How about that? I give it a B+ just because I am a contrarian. Not really, but Redfall, I'm excited for you, but it's just gonna be me and you, baby. No one else can touch us except for me. I can touch you.
You're saying if I want to play with you, I can't join you, even though my progression doesn't work.
That's the thing. My stance on it is that I'm selfish either way, and I'd rather just be alone than be selfish. Because if someone says, "Hey, Red, you want to play?" and I'll be like, "Are you joining me?" and they're like, "No, can you help me?" and I'll be like, "I want to help you, but I know that we're gonna be playing for a few hours, and then I'm gonna have to go back and do everything I just did with you all over again by myself." And then the other hand is, if I ask someone to help me, it's like I just need you to help me because of that same reason, because I don't want to have to do things twice every time. I love the aspect of co-op gameplay for the discoverability as a team, where the whole team is going, what's happening? We're all experiencing this at the same time. What's going to happen? We don't know. Instead of having that one dickbag who's like, yeah, so I did this like 15 times already. Let me just show you how to do this. What you want to do is just follow me and I'll just carry you through the whole fucking thing because I've done it 15 times already. I hate that. I hate that shit. And I get it. It's just not how it is anymore. We're getting older. Scheduling is not what it used to be. People are just not it's just not how it used to be. And I think that's just the mindset that I have. I need to get over it and stop being a bitch.
So
but
what you're saying is you, Mac, and Bushido are douchebags because you guys tried to help me go through Halo Combat Evolved.
I'm ready right now. I'm ready right now to go through Halo. What? Combat Evolved?
You've never once said that. You mean Infinite?
Yeah.
No, Combat Evolved. Remember when I told you guys when we first met Bushido that I never finished Combat Evolved, and he said, oh, well, let me help you get through it all. And then you two jumped in and said, yeah, we'll do it. We'll do it all together.
Yep. Remember? And then I even hit Bushido up that same night. I had the DMs to prove it. I even hit him up and he's like, yeah, man, just give me a little bit. And then never heard from him again. Yeah, so.
No, I wasn't. I'm not talking about
it's Bushido's fault.
Combat Evolved.
It's Bushido. Shout out to you, Bushido. If you got this far, let me know when I said this. Timestamp it now. And
shout out to Bushido. Real man.
Now Bushido's awesome.
He's Truly's new dad, by the way. I want to put everybody out. He's Truly's new dad.
Everyone's adopting children. See, I got Assassin, Bushido's got Truly. We're off to a good start.
Because his mom was looking for a sugar daddy, so he said, you got to call him daddy. That's the only
I remember. I remember now. Yeah, I remember him talking about that.
A couple days, and it's really. That's what I was talking about before the podcast. I was like, I'm out of here.
I love that.
Truly's gonna be the first one.
Just a big, happy, horny family.
I said he says he wants to be called Poppy Bushido by Truly only. So.
Jesus. Okay. All right. Well, shout out to Poppy Truly or that little baby. I don't know what he's called, but anyway, let's move on.
Oh my.
So just real quick, because and this is just in honor of Sapio. He wanted to talk about this. He wanted to know what everyone thinks about how casuals approach showcases in general. So meaning, if you're in the space, if you're in a community and you are very aware of upcoming things and you're on Reddit and you're on the socials and you're on YouTube and all over the place, you know what's going to be coming. So you're in the anticipation is there and you got it put in your calendar and you're ready to go. The question that he wanted to ask is how should casuals digest this kind of information? Should they wait until it's a big article? Should they, whenever they hear about it direct, should they sit there for 45 minutes? Now, for us, 45 minutes was short because we're used to the Game Awards and E3 and all that kind of stuff. So I know how I feel about it, but how should casuals sit through all this? Assassin, I guess I'll go with you first. How should casuals approach showcases, large, big showcases?
Well, okay, like you said before, hardcore gamers like us, we go on Reddit, Twitter, we listen to the official channels, we listen to leaks, we listen to rumors, everything in between. The casual audience is I think it's a much harder to reach audience for the big publishers and the big three, to get their message out about their games. One thing I would recommend to them is just find a way that works for you. Find like a social media platform like YouTube, Twitter. Follow, like, maybe just be on the lookout a little bit more. Like, I know that there's some social media sites where if you like put in certain keywords, that it'll notify you when those words come up in an article. If you guys know what I'm saying. Like if you put Starfield, let's use Starfield for an example. Like a casual wants to know more about the game. They can maybe they could set it up to where if Starfield gets like a new article or a new video, it'll notify them. All in all, if you're a casual player trying to, get to learn more about a game, it's going to be a little bit more difficult. But the only advice I could really give is just be on the lookout a little bit more. Find a social media platform that works for you. follow like certain content creators that are interested in the same game. Like, if you like Bethesda games, look up Mr. Matty Plays. Or if you like Forza, look up Dealer Gaming. That sort of thing. But that's really the only advice that I can give to the casuals. I mean, they don't have to sit through the whole showcase. But if they do,
Right.
I mean, at least they get to see what they want to see. They can just ignore everything else.
Yeah, Manic, what is your advice as someone who watches everything ever made by everyone?
Wow, I'm surprised they have time to play games if they deep dive that much into everything. But I don't know. There's the usual places, your Twitter and your YouTube and that. But what I have found useful is clubs on Xbox. You are like certain games, you go to a club, you go to there. That can show you other people within the club. It can show you stuff from the developers in there, and then that can lead on because you become familiar with certain gamer tags and people, and then you see what they're doing, and then you follow them, and before you know it, you're finding information about games and that ahead of time, like the people that you see with you a little while ago, you know, and yeah.
There you go. Oh, Mac, how do you think casuals should approach?
It's so tough when you say casual, because a casual person doesn't care about games as much as like somebody like me and Red with Mass Effect. Like, if we heard any rumors about Mass Effect, a new Mass Effect, we're gonna soul search. We would have soul searched for that. We would sell our soul just to know anything. A casual will not. They don't care. A casual, it's tough. Well, not all of them don't care. There's still casuals that be like, yeah, I really like Halo and Call of Duty, but that's it. So they wouldn't really even look into stuff like Starfield or Redfall or whatever. So it's hard to use the word
Call of Duty, stuff like that, yeah.
Yeah, how many times you hear people say, I love Call of Duty, but then you bring other games up to them and they're like, what the hell is that? That's a casual to me. And I'm not saying that they're not gamers, because they do play things, but it's weird when you use the word casual. It's just it's such a weird word to use for gaming, because you could play 10 minutes and still love video games just as much as somebody that plays 10,000 hours that doesn't have nothing. They don't do nothing else but smell like Cheetos and play Xbox. So it's weird. I can't. But if it comes down to, if you're casual, you don't really want to overstep yourself, YouTube it. It's simple. New games coming for Xbox, or new games coming to your PlayStation or your Nintendo Switch. What's coming soon? People make videos. How many people make videos? Even if you just find somebody that has 1,000 videos, 1,000 views, click on the lower end people. They'll probably give more of a deep dive than somebody that has 100,000. Just use YouTube, Google. It's simple. New games. With new games coming out, that's always the simplest way to do it with somebody that's just trying to find a new game to play, or look into new games. They're trying to, maybe expand their broadband of games. Just look. I mean, that's the only way a person's gonna. It's like anything. It's like a person saying, "I hate my job, but I'm not looking for a new job." It's like, okay, yeah, like that would be dumb. You know what I'm saying? So go look for a new job. If you're casual, you're not looking for stuff like that. You're not going overboard. You don't care. It's weird to say a casual. Like I don't know if Sapio is as much as I feel like he's more of a casual to gaming than any of us here. We all know that. I mean, clearly we spoke to him. He doesn't know as much. It's just tough. But it's YouTube, man. I don't know, man. I know this is like a weird topic. I didn't know this was coming, so I couldn't really think much about it.
Well, no, it's okay. The question was really, how do you approach a larger showcase? How does should a casual sit there and watch?
Wait till it comes out. Get a brief summary of the whole thing. If you see something, let's say, we'll use the direct one. Go watch somebody that has like a 6-minute video. They'll show a couple glimpses, and it's gonna like give it like
exactly
you'll see, it's Redfall. Do that. Don't go overboard.
Yeah.
Let me check every blog to see if this game's the game I really want to spend $50 or $60.
100% agree. Yeah.
Just go look at a little small video.
That's the way to go, and that's what I said. Because and the thing is, it's going to happen organically that way anyway, right? Because if you're casual, you're not going to be looking for a showcase if you don't even know about it. But even if the people that know about it, they know that they don't want to sit through a 45-minute showcase, so they're going to see it. They're going to see Xbox Direct, and they see it all over the place on YouTube, and they're just trying to watch their cooking tutorial or whatever the fuck. And then the next day, you have all these people breaking down the showcase and sort of giving a summary of what happened. And that's my answer too. And that's exactly what I said to Sapio prior to the show. Just wait for articles if you'd rather read. Wait for smaller videos just to get a breakdown. Because if someone said, "Hey, Red Wolf, what happened in the showcase?" I would say, Redfall, Redfall, Forza, Minecraft Legends, and Hi-Fi Rush got released. Hi-Fi Rush got released, and the other games got a release date besides Forza. That's really all that happened. And then they could say, okay, well now I can pick and choose what I want to go see, and then they can go look up the gameplay individually. So yeah, it's a simple answer. I would say just wait for the summarized versions. There's no reason to go back and watch it if you don't care about it, because for us who are in the space, we get really hyped and excited, and we want to sit there, and like we did. We all actually sat there, like fucking 18 of us in a party or whatever, and we all watched it together, and it was a good time because we're passionate like that, and we have no life. Yes, exactly. Thank you, and that's perfect. So, any other thoughts on that? Because I want to get through these others here. Let me save this one topic for later because it'll tie in. So I do want to talk about. So by the time that you're watching this, Dead Space is out, and the reviews have come out for Dead Space, and oh god, here we go again, another amazing game apparently. Compared to Forspoken. So I don't know, I'm trying to figure out, I guess the best way to approach this is when games are done right and games are highly acclaimed and have a big fan base behind them, and have a lot of hype, and they're worried at the same time because you better get my game right. Don't do not my Luke Skywalker, Last Jedi kind of thing. And it goes to show that it is a double-edged sword whenever that can go very right or very wrong. In terms of like Resident Evil 2, I think was a perfect example of like an amazing remake. That game was so good. So the reviews are coming out, and I've seen a lot of people who were very skeptical about Dead Space to begin with are coming out now and saying I'm gonna eat my hat, I'm gonna eat my foot, I am gonna eat all the things that I can't eat because I was wrong. This game is amazing, and that is so good to see. Versus what happened with Forspoken, where people were defending it up and down just for the sake of defending, it seems, because there was the demo that came out, and even the demo was kind of mixed. It was just like, whatever, So no one actually has their hands on it yet, as far as consumers. There are some lucky reviewers that have got a chance to play it. So I guess we'll start with Dead Space first. Manic, are you a Dead Space fan? Did you play it back in 2008 when it came out?
Yes, I did. And space, horror, mutants, aliens, I love it. Can't get enough of that type of thing. Looking forward to getting my hands on it. As far as giving it your tentacles, yeah, who doesn't love tentacles?
Yeah, baby.
As far as giving it a score, I'm going to say an 8, but that's only on the basis that I haven't got my hands on it to play it yet. But not long. So once I've played it,
okay.
Yeah, once I've played it, then that score might change. But no, it's one of my anticipated games to get my hands on, because I love Dead Space on the 360. Awesome game.
That's great. That's great to hear. So, and you've already given your score, your assumed score of 8 out of 10. That's great.
Yeah.
That's great. So you're excited to play it. You're gonna buy it. You're gonna play it day one.
Damn right.
Oh yes, I love that. I know there is someone in here
With the
that
lights
is
off.
with the lights off. You know what's so stupid? Someone messaged me. One of my good friends. Shout out to
love my sex
Jordy.
tape.
I see. So shout out to Jordy. Yeah.
Every episode, I'm gonna say it once.
Yep, that's right. His tentacle sex tape. Check it out now on sextape.mac.boundwithtentacles.com.
Well, I was talking about the lights off, is what I was saying. What Manic said.
Oh, I
No,
thought you
yeah.
meant tentacles, and you're bound because of the tentacles that bound you.
Okay, carry on.
Okay.
Assassin
So
laugh, damn it.
anyway, yeah. So shout out to Jordy, my friend Jordy. Love you, bro.
Well, his 3
Doing
kids
all
are probably giving him a headache, but that's besides it.
Oh my God, they're hanging off of his ears, and he's
So
just
his
crying.
son, his oldest one, the one, everything's good with the one boy, right?
The one boy, he's probably oldest by 1 second. I can't remember if which one.
I
but
definitely
yeah,
don't think
he's-
it
he
was
had
1
triplets.
second. I definitely think it was a couple minutes, but if she
Oh,
pushed it
you
out,
never know.
she had some huff and puff, and she had the Hufflepuff from Harry Potter going on there. But
Yes.
all right, let's
Yeah,
get off topic.
when the baby came out, they're like Ravenclaw, Hufflepuff. Yeah, as they came out of the womb.
Gryffindor.
Yeah, Gryffindor. Yeah. So
Why are we talking about birth with Harry Potter? What the?
I don't know,
fuck
because I brought up Jordy,
Renegade
and yeah. So welcome to the Renegade Realm Podcast. What the hell were we talking about? Oh, Dead Space. So
Dead Space.
there is one person here who is the biggest, even a bigger horror fan than me, and loves getting scared and loves the intensity. And you know who you are. So Mac, how are you?
That
How much
definitely isn't the
excited
fucking
are you?
case.
I flipped it again. Yep, that was intentional.
I am a big
Yeah,
wuss.
How were you?
I am the biggest wuss when it comes to games. Callisto Protocol scared me like the 2 or 3 times that it did give me a little jump scare. Like the one time when the door opened up, it scared the shit out of me. So I can only imagine how
Yes.
Dead Space is. See, I tried to play the first one like right when they first started adding like backwards compatibility to the one. I tried to play it, but I don't remember what was out or what was going on during the time. Will I play it? I don't know, man. I'm on the bubble, man. Do I want to pee myself a little? Do I want what?
Yes,
do I
you
want
do.
to do I want poop stains? I don't
Yes.
know.
Yes, you do.
But everybody, my brother, my stepbrother Kenny,
Yeah, adult nappies, you know.
yeah, well that too. I could do that if I want, but it costs money. I'd rather
There
just
you
shit in
go.
my underwear and throw them in the washer. My brother Kenny is a big Dead Space fan, and he told me, I talked to him today about it. I said, "Are you gonna get Dead Space tomorrow?" And he goes, "Yeah." And I said, "Man, I just don't know if I want to play it or not." I said, the game just scares the crap out of me. The little bit of stuff that I've seen on it, and they've only added 400 more stuff to it that, I'm sure probably half of those are jump scares and outside the lightings and stuff. I
Don't forget the cut content they decided to add back in.
yeah, I'm sure they
Yeah.
I don't know. Anticipation, I'm like a 5 out of 10 to play it. I'm not gonna rate the game because I'm not rating a game. I'm just talking about my hypeness for it is like a 5 out of 10 because it looks amazing. The game, the little bit of time that I have seen it and then seeing it from the past, the game is definitely a way better upgraded remake, not remastered, remake of the game, and it looks really good. But the problem is, I'm a pussy, and
Nice.
I don't know if I'm gonna play that. But I'm gonna try. If me and my brother, I'm not buying it. I'm gonna say right now, I will not pay for this because I'm not gonna pay for $70 for something I might not play. My brother will buy it, and then I will use his game share and I will try it. If I try it and I'll like it, then I will talk about how good it was next weekend. The chances of that happening though is like I don't even know what to say. Me win the lottery. I don't think I'm gonna play it, but I'll try. So
Hey Mac, if you think
and-
Dead Space looks scary, just wait till you and I co-stream Resident Evil 2 Remake.
I'm not
Wink,
playing
wink.
Resident Evil 2 ever. I'm not letting Nemesis chase me around like a fucking puppy.
Yeah.
No,
Oh,
no,
it's
no,
so
no.
good.
Resident Evil
It's
2 Remake
so good.
does not have Nemesis.
I don't, yes,
It has
does.
Mr.
Oh,
X.
Whatever.
Yeah.
Same motherfucker. He chases you
Same
like
guy,
a
different jacket, different hat.
He's not the
I-
same.
Let's
Nemesis
Definitely
in a
not the
different
same.
skin.
Before we get to you, Assassin, I want to tell you why I don't like stuff like I don't like stuff chasing you. If you ever played Crash Bandicoot and the boulder goes down the hill, I hate that. I love Crash Bandicoot. That's the only maps that I hate in that game because I don't like stuff chasing me. I didn't like Limbo when it did it. I don't like when stuff chases you. It gives you that like you ever like gotta poop and you gotta clench your butt and you're like running down the hallway. That's what it gives me. That's why I don't like those games. And on top of it, it's scary. So why? I remember watching it as a kid, and my best friend, rest his soul. He passed away from a drunk driver killing him. He was running, and Nemesis popped out of a fucking wall. And I said, I'll never play this game ever. Hell no. And then from that point, I've never played 1 through 3. I've watched it, and I've pooped myself a little bit just watching it. But I will never play it. I will never play it.
Okay,
Now,
okay.
Resident Evil 4 is amazing.
Jokes aside. So you're telling me that if Machine Games decides to add a boulder section to Indiana Jones, you're not going to play it?
I never said I wouldn't play that. I'm just saying I'm not playing the scary games that add stuff like that to it.
If we get to
Scarier
50
the game,
subscribers,
the
Mac
better.
will stream Resident Evil 2 for at least 1.5 hours.
Yeah, if I get 500 subs tonight, there you go.
I
You get to
just-
500 subs by the
Followers.
end of the year. You're doing
Oh,
it, Mac.
Okay.
Yeah. There's my prediction. If I can get 500 Twitch followers, we'll just do. I'm already at like 36 or something like that, 38. Okay, I'm up there, and I haven't streamed in like 2 weeks because I've been real busy with life. But if I can get 500 followers, because I'm gonna start streaming again here really soon in the next couple of days, I will do a Resident Evil 1 through 3 remake playthrough.
Whoa! The whole trilogy.
The whole
Not
tri-
even
I-
just a holy
and I
shit.
I'm gonna have a camera before then, and I'll hopefully make my fat ass lose a little bit of weight so I don't look so bad.
There
and my
you
room
go.
and my room is picked up like a grown man I should be. I will
Good,
do
good
1 through 3, and I will do it. But we
Okay.
have to get 500 followers. Now we know how Twitch is, and we know how people are. That probably won't happen. So that's why I did it.
Hey, Red,
That-
hold up. I need
Flip
to
it,
make 500
bitches.
Twitch accounts.
don't know
I will
what
go
you said.
through to make sure they're not bot accounts too. I don't give a shit. I'll make sure. Well, this isn't the 2020 election here. I'll make sure it's real or not.
There we go. It doesn't matter.
yeah.
Fake news is real news. Am I right?
I love horror.
He
Oh,
goes to the
John.
bot and he sees a bot that's named Macbound is an idiot.
Yeah, some bullshit. Yeah, that's something Steph would do.
So yeah, shout out to Steph. Steph, if you got this far, give me a timestamp. I don't believe you.
I don't know what I forgot what they said his name is.
His
Steph
first
is
name
not
is
gonna
T.
lie.
His middle name is S, and his last name is
it's-
Hef.
Halo Beast likes to say his name, and I laugh at it because nobody else calls him it besides Halo Beast. It's kind of like what I call when I call Bloodwolf Liam, and everybody kind of goes, "Who the fuck's that?" So
Not dox anyone.
I'm doxing this motherfucker
but,
right now. He lives in Australia, and
his
he
his
has
address is
5
111-99999.
5 kangaroos and 10 spiders. Okay, carry on.
Kangaroo.
That sounds pretty hot. I like that.
Does
So
he have one
this
named
next
Tiffany?
topic, I'm gonna go ahead and just. I'm gonna actually. Oh, in the jungle, under the sea. I want to just kick this one off to you, Mac, because.
Wait, Assassin
or-
didn't say his thing about Dead Space.
Oh, I thought he did. I do that to you all the time. Yeah, I'm a terrible father. I'm so sorry. Go ahead, Assassin.
You're the child
Dead
he never
Space.
wanted.
Fuck you, Red. We're gonna go straight into Forgotten.
Oh, Forgotten. Oh, good. Okay,
Oh,
let's go.
okay,
Let's
wait,
go
you
into
don't-
No,
Forgotten,
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
Forwoken, Forpoken. Go
For-
ahead.
Stop. No.
Go ahead. No, it's fine. No, that's right.
Oh,
The
God.
game's a game.
No. All right, Dead Space Remake. I am the true horror fan on this
He
fucking
is-
panel. Don't let
yeah,
anyone
he is.
tell you different.
Yes.
First of all,
He said
400.
Different.
Manic's probably dying over this. His eyes are probably hurting. He's like, "Ah."
Please end this.
This man's gonna sleep real. He gonna go,
Oh,
okay,
yeah,
I'll
he's
see you guys later. Click and fall asleep in the chair.
Yeah.
all right. Dead Space Remake. It looks amazing. The gameplay looks amazing. I played 3 hours of the original. I had to stop myself so I could, focus all my energy on the remake because that's how much I love the original just from 3 hours. 3 hours, and I knew I was gonna get hooked if I didn't stop. But I knew the remake was coming, so I stopped and I waited this long. And according to the reviews that are coming out today, it seems like the wait was fucking worth it. Like Max said earlier, 400 new interactions, cut content from the original game. The graphics have been updated. Isaac can now fucking speak. And according to IGN, he's not going to be a typical Sony first-party character and just comment on everything like Aloy or Spider-Man does all the time, which I love Spider-Man. That's just how I am. I'm a superhero fan like Red. But Dead Space Remake, I love horror. I can't wait to play it. It is my most anticipated game for January. I said that weeks ago. Not month. I can't wait to get my hands on it. It's definitely a 9 for me right now, and I guarantee when I start playing tomorrow, it's going to be a 10 out of 10. It's going to be my first game of the year contender, even though it came out 15 years ago, but fuck that. That's how I feel.
And we're going to have a review up on the... I'm not going to say it. I'm not going to put that out there, but maybe you can review it. Maybe people will want that.
Maybe. If I manage... I'm going to start, like I said before last week, I'm going to start my playthroughs again on my YouTube channel. So I'll be doing that with Dead Space. Maybe afterwards I'll do a review. But I can't promise anything.
Maybe you'll finish Callisto Protocol since you've only played it for 2 hours. Whoa! Bam, 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 bam! I'm not on board yet.
Still cannot believe he literally, like, when he said it to me, I was just like,
I was stunned.
I was like, what? I said, how? Like, I just whatever.
Yeah, we're not gonna go too hard on Assassin.
I am. Fuck that. Fuck
he
that.
is grounded for a week. He's not allowed to come out of his room. But
Callisto Protocol was a good game.
Great, yes.
I'm sorry. What'd you say, Assassin?
I was saying to Mac, don't make me roll the fucking boulder with spikes at you.
Don't make me chase you with rocks, boulder rocks.
I mean, I'm not saying that like I'm scared of that. I'm saying I don't like the maps, and it's just the scariness. It's almost like something scary chasing you all the time. I'm good. I don't want that.
It's not well, I would say that Dead Space it does do that, but
I don't think it's.
You'd have to play the game to figure it out.
I don't think it's gonna be as bad. Like, you remember the episode in Resident Evil 5 where you go down and the leeches are like I forgot what they're called. You go down and they break out of the prison thing, and you got to run to the elevator because there's so many of them. And that's like that. Like, there's like a tense. It's like you get tensed up and you're running like, oh fuck. Even though later on you get to Deagle and you can just one shot all of them, but that's besides it. Yeah, an RE5. Yep.
Yeah, I'm out.
Well, okay, so we're all excited. We're all excited. Okay.
I'm okay.
We're all excited to be scared shitless.
I'm okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, I've got the steelbook. The steelbook's like right there, but I don't feel like getting up. So there's that. Now, real quick, I just want to touch on this. The Forspoken. So Forspoken. I'm not even going to say that it got review bombed. It just got reviewed. And the reviews are not good. And because the game, unfortunately, was exactly what people were afraid of. It was a buggy, sort of. It's one of those games that had a good idea of what it could have been, but the delivery was awful. And didn't Joss Whedon have a hand in the writing? Who is a Marvel?
Amy Hennig did.
Amy Hennig. I'm sorry. Yes, please God forgive me. Amy Hennig, who has been part of canceled games before. Not to say that has nothing to do with this. I'm just saying she was part of it. So it's worth mentioning. Amy Hennig, a big figure in games over the past few years. Not few years, a long time. This game came out and it was met with very, very harsh criticism, and I would say it's well deserved. Very, just the self-awareness is non-existent with this game. And I have looked at a lot of footage just to make sure that I can formulate my own opinion about the game. This game looks good at times. As soon as everyone opens their mouth, it falls apart. And unfortunately, so does the combat. The combat, I've heard a lot of people say, I can't remember who we were talking to day before yesterday, or yesterday, I can't remember. I'm getting my days mixed up. Someone said that like they played the demo, and a lot of the enemies were just sort of standing there and just like waiting for you to attack, similar to what we've heard about Hogleg, also known as Hogwarts Legacy. So I am not surprised by this at all. This game came out, what was revealed, and the first thing everyone said was the dialogue's horrible. You cannot be like, oh, something I do now. Like, I mean, I can go into the whole thing. It's exhausting at this point. Is anyone surprised by this? Is anyone surprised? Manic, are you surprised by this? Do you like cringy dialogue? Do you like that when you move things with your mind that you say, that's something I do now? Do you like that?
No. And to be truthful, I've not really seen much of Forspoken apart from what bits have hit the social media, and no.
He's innocent. He's innocent. Don't ruin it for him.
Sorry?
Don't ruin his innocence.
That's fair. That's fair, yeah. That's good. So
No, Manic,
good.
I don't
you
want you
haven't
to
seen
see more of that game. I don't want you to see more of that game.
Right.
Stay away from it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Remain pure.
Okay.
Yeah, so okay, good. Let's just so because okay, Mac, please take
Listen,
this role.
I'm very. I don't know. I don't think it's as
Hard-
bad as people are making. They definitely need to upgrade. They need to fix the graphics. I don't know why they would push something out like that. I mean, the demo wasn't like as bad as people are putting it out to be. It's not good though. It definitely is like a fucking 5 out of 10. I mean, but with a few patches or whatever you want to call it, they can fix the game, or they at least can make it subpar better. But I'm not spending $70 fucking dollars on that game, or $60 or $2. I'm gonna go about $20 is worth about $20, and that's only because it does have a story, and it does have, well, I don't know if it's a story or if it's fucking skip frames or whatever they call it nowadays with that shitty. It looks, I mean, there's a lot wrong with the game, but it has potential if they could fix the stuff. But it's kind of why did that game come out if it wasn't ready? You know, and that's the biggest problem with it. And will I buy it in a year from now or Black Friday when it's 10 or 15 bucks? I probably will, because it's 10 or 15 dollars. But I'm not gonna if it doesn't, I'm not gonna stress it to be like, I have to play this game. If I don't play this game, I'm not gonna play no other game until I do. It's not even close to that. That would be on the one of the bottom bucket barrel backlog games, and that's why it's just not. Go fucking play Call of Duty. It's better. Or go play any other fucking game. Go play Biomutant. It's good. I don't
Bucket
know.
barrel backlog. I like that. That's 4 B's. Bucket barrel backlog.
I have 5 animals in my house with the letter B, so that means a lot.
You got Bucky, Billy, backlog. You have a dog named Backlog, I'm sure.
Yeah, because we have
good.
I mean, but I'm not. I don't know. The game's just, the controls kind of off a little bit. I don't know. See, I haven't looked at reviews to see if you could change that, but the controls still a little off. Like, you run with the circle button. I don't get that. I don't know what the fuck. This isn't fucking
like Dark Souls.
This isn't 95 Sega where you got 2 buttons, you know, and you got the farthest button that runs. No, they need to. It's either X, A, or right trigger or left trigger. You want to do one of the triggers or one of the buttons closest to your right stick. I don't get why you're doing one of the farthest buttons from your stick that
you don't want to take away from the thumb. I get what you're saying. You want to be able to look while you're moving. Yeah,
it's kind of like, what the fuck, I don't know. There's a lot wrong with the game. There's more wrong with the game than good. Assassin's 100% right. Manic, don't look at anything on this game if you haven't, or whatever the case may be. Just keep it to where it's at. You're better off just saying, hey, it's a crappy game, and just keep it at that, because the game is not where it should be. It's worse than Cyberpunk. It is, and that's bad.
Wow. He's telling me not to look at it. It's making me want to look at it, but
you can look at it. Your eyes. You think your eyes hurt?
No, I'm not going to look at it on
you
base.
You ever play on a 720p tube TV from 2005? Okay, that's what you're gonna see.
I don't know, games like that, and games in general. If it's a game that's I'm interested in it. I would have seen something about it by now, so I can only assume that that type of game doesn't interest me, because if I've seen something, I've not paid attention to it. So
Yeah.
Cool. Well, good. So everyone agrees. And again, none of us have played it. We are going off of trusted sources and people that we know personally who have played it. And again, these people bought the game, so it's not like this isn't like. Whenever you invest something into anything, you're gonna have a bias to try to defend it. You're gonna have this inkling to say, but here's the bad things, but here's the good things. Like, it doesn't seem like there's a lot of good there. And I never watch reviews, but I did watch a couple of reviews just to get a consensus for how everyone was feeling. I even went and looked at reviews for channels and companies. I guess that gives it away who I watched that I don't necessarily agree with, like, ever. And it seems like that didn't change. The consensus is the same. The game needed a lot of work, and that the narrative, the delivery of the narrative, just didn't hit for a lot of people. So that sucks. It sucks for people who were excited about it and ended up not liking it. But if you did like it, that's great. That's great. You suck as a person. I'm just kidding. But so the next thing that I wanted to, does anyone have anything to say about Forspoken?
Well, I didn't say anything about it.
Oh, I thought you did. Sorry.
Bro, at least he's forgetting you on the podcast, not everything else.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. Go ahead.
Are you talking about Forspoken?
Yeah.
Are you talking about the PlayStation banger that's 64 on Metacritic that's doing worse than Hi-Fi Rush?
120 frames per second. Yeah.
Yep, bad frame rate, the cringy dialogue, and the overall forgotten protagonist. Man.
You nailed it. You're getting it.
Pretty much, yeah. One thing I'd like to clear out, though. Why the hell are people comparing the dialogue to the MCU? No character in the MCU.
No one. Oh my god! I saw that. I was like,
even Spider-Man does not talk like that. None of them.
I shoot webs. I guess that's something that I do now.
Oh god! If it's ever the case, I'd say that's not Peter Parker. That's someone. That's someone that went inside Peter Parker's ass, came into his brain, and decided to play the.
Jesus Christ, that went sideways. I like that.
Yeah.
Came into his brain. Okay.
That is not Peter Parker, and Forspoken does not have MCU dialogue. I would like to end that narrative now. Like, for fuck's sake. That's just the MCU haters, just overall. But back to Forgotten.
Yeah.
Yeah, this game is not worth $70.
That's right. You heard it here first. Forgotten. You're done. You're done. Give up. You're done, PlayStation. It's over.
Yes, so ironic that Square Enix, who has been in this game for many years and is a very big publisher, came out with a game that is even less valuable than the dog shit I stepped in a couple days ago.
Oh.
And yet, Tango Gameworks delivered what's being already considered a Game of the Year contender with Hi-Fi Rush just a day later. So, let me get this straight. You announced this game 3 years ago. You hype it up as a premier PlayStation exclusive. And you don't deliver. Do you not understand why a lot of people hate you right now, Square Enix?
Yeah,
I partially agree with Mac that Square Enix is a shit company. They really are. Like, that my feelings on them do not change. Their executives should have, like, okay. The higher ups should not have sent this game out to die. They should have cooked it a lot longer. I would say maybe a 2-year delay. And I just now remembered Forspoken is a 2-year timed exclusive. Yeah, they can keep it.
Yeah, well, by the time we get on Xbox, it might be finished.
Yeah. bro, no. I'm laughing because unfortunately, yeah, that's actually gonna be true. So final thoughts: Square Enix, fuck you. PlayStation, fuck you. And yeah, just all around fuck you. This game is not worth anyone's time. It probably will be in 2 years, like Max said, when they finally update it. But yeah, for now, just avoid it. Hey, play Hi-Fi Rush. It's on Game Pass. It looks and feels a lot better from what I'm looking at, literally right now on the Xbox Store. It looks a lot better than Forspoken. Just do it. Do it. Now. Alright, I'm done.
Yep.
And now Red is has vanished on it.
MI.
Oh yeah, that was good. That was good. Yeah, it's funny that Mac, you mentioned how I just jumped in here like a cartoon character on a whenever they just fly through the window when they're late for work and they break everything, but they're so
Oh yeah. Sorry, okay. That was a cool.
yeah.
Kool-Aid man. Okay, sorry.
Oh, that guy. I thought you meant Randy Savage. It's Mac.
no.
I was laughing. I was listening.
Sorry, okay.
I was listening, and you said maybe the game would come out, and I was dying as I was peeing. I was trying to hold everything still while I was laughing because you nailed it. It's literally what I was gonna say. I was like, oh well, maybe then the game will be good, and then you said it. So that's all I had to say. Any other thoughts on Forspoken?
Nope.
No. As a matter of fact, that game doesn't exist.
If it's that
Fantastic.
bad, then PlayStation's welcome to it.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, yeah. Eat your heart out, you fucking assholes. I'm just kidding. I don't care if you like PlayStation. I'm being hyperbolic, and
Yeah.
it's all cool.
Yeah, I'd like to
Me.
reiterate. I love PlayStation, but they made a stupid decision to
Same.
make this an exclusive.
Yeah.
Pinocchio's ahead of PlayStation and Jim Ryan.
But of course,
We're all
everyone's gonna
limb
forget when
giant.
Final Fantasy 16 comes out.
Oh, since we're talking about PlayStation, let's go ahead and talk about the PlayStation topic.
Please take us away, Mac. I want to hear about
So-
this subpoenas.
So a couple days ago, I don't know what happened today. I haven't looked up into it yet because I just got home at 5:30. And this is a Thursday, so we still have till tomorrow for they can put it. So, a couple days ago, Xbox subpoenaed Sony,
Michael.
not Microsoft, Sony.
Michael's transaction.
To I guess to where they're saying that Xbox has got more dominant. They're being a monopoly pretty much. Trying to say that they have more of the leadership, and Call of Duty is the only reason why they're pulling this deal out and stuff. And I guess I don't know exactly why they subpoenaed them like 100% and why the reason, because I didn't look into that, but I know they did it. But Hargy told me that they're going to be doing it because they're going to get Sony to put out all their any type of deal they've ever done, any third-party deal, any timed exclusive deal, any deal with Call of Duty, any deal with Bungie. Remember when Bungie had fucking Destiny 1 and all their exclusive content? Remember the raids would come out like a week earlier on PlayStation? All those and anything that has to do with money, transactions, and they have to have every document. I don't know how far they're going to go back. I'm sure they're going to go as far as they can. They're going to think, and they got to bring it to court. They have up till Friday, January 27th. They have to respond. So they have to tell the courts yes or no. Then a judge will make a thing saying, well, you have to or you don't. But it's Microsoft has pretty much put Sony in a corner, and they've proved their point. Well, if Call of Duty is the only important thing to you guys, give us what about all the stuff that you've took from us? You know what I'm saying? And whatever else the case may be with Sony. So I'm not 100% on that, but it's going to pretty much pull all their financial things up for Sony. I'm sure they already have all Microsoft stuff. I'm sure they already have what clearly, what's, this and what's that. So hopefully the judge, says, well, they're gonna say no. We all know they're gonna say no. We can't. We're not gonna give those. Then they'll have 4 to 6 weeks to, if the judge rules that it is for the case, they'll have till April. I think April's 6 weeks from now, or 6 weeks from a week from now, they'll have, because the judge has a week to make a ruling or something like that, and they'll just pretty much just tell them yeah or no. So I mean, in the long run, if Microsoft has made points that this is the reason, if this is the only reason why you're bringing us to court, then we need to know why. Okay, then what about all this stuff you do? I don't know why they're trying to get the financial stuff. It's just a whole story. It's he said, she said bullshit. High school. They're just trying to win the case. They're just trying to. Yeah. Go ahead, Manic. No, go ahead.
What
Manic.
it says here is that the subpoena is to attend documents in advance at the hearing according to the court filing. Microsoft wants Sony to offer up details of PlayStation's game production pipeline to help strengthen its case. Sony has until January the 27th to respond to the subpoena, and then it will then opt to move or to limit or to order in court. But whether or not this is strategy will play out.
It's a good strategy. Okay, so that's pretty much anything that they financially, all their financial stuff is gonna pop up. We're gonna know what they've paid for stuff. We're gonna know what they lost. We're gonna know how much. We're gonna actually know the truth of everything. Now we all know Sony's gonna say no, so we all know they're gonna say no, and then a judge will rule if they need to do to. It's gonna happen. There's no ifs, ands, and buts. It's the whole reason why they're doing it. The whole reason why Sony is doing this is because they're saying Microsoft or Xbox is the dominant brand in gaming. We all know that's not the case. We all know that Sony is a 2-1 on Xbox. Even though all of us are here Xbox fans, in the Japanese community and the China community, all the Asian community, they like Sony more than they like Xbox. And that's billions of people. That's at least 2 billion people in that little area right there. And that's a lot of people that you could take from the world that like Sony more than Microsoft. So they got that. So they're just trying to pretty much say, no, you guys are the monopoly. You're the guys that want to rule the whole industry, and then you're using Call of Duty as the excuse of the only reason you're pretty much doing it. So in the long run, the judge is going to force them to do this. There's no way, if this judge doesn't do it, because it's the FTC and it's a different person than that girl that just had a baby, so it's a whole nother person that's a little more, he's not biased as much. He's not, or she, I think that's what Peter was saying. The person that's running the show now isn't as biased as the woman that was pregnant that ran the whole show. I forgot what her name was. She's a New York girl or whatever. I don't know. I'm not all into the FTC, and pretty much they're just people that take the United States people's money. So that's all they are. They're useless. So we'll see. I mean, I don't know how you guys feel about Microsoft countering them and pretty much putting them in a corner. It's just, it makes
I love
sense.
It. I absolutely love it, because they sort of have to show their hand, the hand that they've been dealing to gamers for 1,000 years, it seems, where they say, we're going to not necessarily pay for exclusivity, but we will pay to keep this game off of Game Pass because we don't want to be associated with that at all. And I think that a couple Square games have come to Game Pass, if I'm not right. Did any at all? I don't know why I'm thinking that. Didn't Deus Ex come to Game Pass at one point or something like that?
Did. The first one did. A few Final Fantasy games did. There was, I think, Kingdom Hearts 3, Dragon Quest 11 has come to Game Pass. So Square has.
Kingdom Hearts 3 did not. Kingdom Hearts 1 and 5 remastered, or 1.5 and 2.5.
1.5 and 2.
Not,
then I may have had it backwards.
There was a sports game that came from Sony Entertainment that dropped on Xbox.
MLB The Show.
MLB The Show, yeah.
It's an amazing game. It's my favorite base. It's one of my favorite sports games. Carry on.
Yeah, good. I am happy that they did this, because they're like, because the the nature of making deals with companies to keep things off of other things is it kind of makes you look weak. It's like your product should speak for itself, and your fan base clearly speaks for you, very vocally, by the way. But no, seriously, the a lot of times whenever people think of exclusivity, it is PlayStation. Whenever you think of good exclusives, and they do really good. It's just weird to me that now the exclusivity has seemed very, very aggressive in the past year, and now we have seen they completely negated the Final Fantasy VII. That's not going to become an Xbox. Silent Hill 2, apparently they said that's going to be timed exclusive, and now there's rumors that that's not even going to be coming to Xbox. I could go on and on and on. They keep backtracking and saying let's just keep it away, like being a petty like. It just seems so petty. So now Microsoft is saying, show us your deals. Show us the documents where you made this deal. What does it entail? What does it exactly mean? How does it affect consumers? Because right, that's the whole thing that we're talking about, right? How does it affect consumers negatively if you're coming at us and saying you're not allowed to have this ABK deal, can't go through because it's anti-consumer? Okay, well, let's see your receipts. I want to see your receipt and see exactly what all these deals entailed whenever you did your exclusivity. What does that look like? And I've talked about ad nauseum, talked about Spider-Man, how amazing, no pun intended, how amazing Spider-Man would have done if it had launched multi-platform. And when I say amazing, it did amazing by itself. But they grabbed Spider-Man and just with a death grip and said, no one else can have this. But dude, no one can deny that if Spider-Man had launched on PC, Xbox, and PlayStation day one, it would have made 4 or 5 times the money because Spider-Man is Spider-Man. Everyone loves Spider-Man. That's just how it is. So this is really good news for me. I can't wait to see what they have done, and I'm sure that I won't be surprised. But it just feels gross. It just feels gross. And I'm not going to sit here and jerk off any one company and say that act like they care about me. But the anti-consumer stuff, you can sort of nail down to Sony. Again, Sony has great games, but this kind of stuff.
Want it to go through because they won't want to have to pay Activision. Is it the $3 million or $3 billion if it doesn't go through?
Yeah, it's five. Yeah, I think it's like $5 billion or something like that. I know it's up there.
It's a little bit of money,
but
yeah. Yeah. So, any other thoughts on that? Because that's kind of, it can become a rabbit hole.
Well, being a Call of Duty person, I do like it. I buy it annually. I play it. I do have my moments where I drop off, but I'm always back on it. So yeah, let's just hope this gets resolved, and just I don't know, the hypocrisy of Sony. The hypocrisy of Sony, yeah.
Yeah, get it done or don't. It's fucking
stop playing the nice guy. It's time to put up or shut up.
Yeah, everyone started talking about it. And I know I am, but I'm glad that Microsoft came out and said, "What about you? What about you? Let's see what you got. Show us your receipts.
Yeah,
give it to me, Daddy."
Yeah.
So,
one thing I think, go ahead, Manic.
Sorry, no, I was just saying, let Sony back themselves into a corner.
Exactly. Yeah.
Agreed. I think it's finally time for Sony to finally air out their dirty laundry. The last time we had dirty laundry come out about the games industry, Apple versus Epic, we know exactly what happened. A lot of publishers behind the scenes, they got exposed, just like Sony. Remember that whole crossplay tax that they enforced on publishers? Like with Epic, Electronic Arts with Apex. There's a reason why Borderlands 3 never got crossplay, because I guess 2K just didn't want to deal with it. If Microsoft takes Sony to court, I cannot tell you how much dirt and how much exposure both are going to experience.
Make sure you say both.
Microsoft is not going to be. Microsoft is not innocent either. I'm saying this as a neutral.
Tomb
I
Raider.
love
Remember Tomb Raider?
Xbox and I love PlayStation. Yes, yep. That is a big example as to why Microsoft has not made big AAA franchises exclusive to the platform. After what happened with Rise of the Tomb Raider, I don't blame them at all. Like, I really don't. But like I said, if Microsoft backs Sony into a corner, what happens when you corner an animal? They're 10 times dangerous now. Yes.
Yeah.
There is a chance that Sony could potentially turn this around on Microsoft and say, okay, well, if we're going to expose our dirty laundry, you do the same. And Microsoft is not innocent either. But I think Microsoft has something. I think they know something that they kind of want to expose. What's one thing that Microsoft could expose about Sony that would get them to stop in their tracks? We know Microsoft is going to keep acquiring studios. How is it going to look if Microsoft exposes Sony as the market leader is also going to acquire a big publisher like Square Enix? If what we've been hearing is true and Sony is going to acquire a big publisher like Square Enix or Capcom or whoever, it is not going to be a very good look if Microsoft says, so we can't acquire Activision because even though we're in third place, but you're letting the market leader acquire a big publisher and put us further behind?
Yeah.
Yes, exactly. That's going to put the FTC, the EU, the CMA in a tight spot, because if they find that out, that the market leader is going to make a big move like this too, it's going to put their whole perspective on the games industry into a fucking tailspin, man.
Well, yeah, but can you also imagine, and this is like far-fetched, that say, Microsoft have subpoenaed Sony, so Sony do bring the evidence or what they have to bring to court. It gets to a point where, Sony actually fires Jim Ryan or Jim Ryan leaves because of the fact that all this dirty laundry, I should say, has been brought out into the public eye. Because I don't know, personally myself, you must have heard of people losing their jobs for far less, or quitting, or being moved to a different department within the same company.
It was just point out Sony's arrogance and their hypocrisy.
Well, yeah, they put the price of their console up,
If Microsoft exposes Sony hypocrisy to a point where the consumers, the rest of the industry, and the governments of the world have to intervene, Sony's reputation is going to go down. They're going to go downhill, and I'm not sure if there's going to be a stopping point if that's the case.
Yeah.
Sony's damned if they do, damned if they don't.
Unfortunately, yes.
Yeah, and a lot of times we don't see people, we don't see businesses or companies retaliate with a no you kind of mentality. They were very smart to sort of go simple rather than go big. So we'll see how that actually plays out. I'm interested. But let's move on, because let's move on to fun stuff. We're at the end here. So this popped up, and I don't know how you guys. Let's just talk about fun stuff now, because we're at the end. And thank you to everyone who got this far and who survived all this. Oh man, it's been a fun ride. I'm not as psychotic as it was last week.
Shout out to Hargy, Channy, and Jedi Peter, who Macbound mentioned earlier. I forgot to shout out. So,
yeah, shout out to you, Hargy. I DM'd you and tried to get you in here, but it's fine. I'm not important
really
yet.
Good friends. I'm sure most people that are probably watching this or listening to this know that Jedi and me get along really well, and he's awesome. And Hargy is definitely the MVP of this community. He is the guy that shares his Netflix password to everybody.
Yes, he does. Yes. And his Pornhub Premium password. But yeah, I tried. Oh, that was just me. Okay, good. Yeah. So yeah, what the fuck? Okay, good. So, moving on past all the nonsense. Okay. I am a huge fan of this franchise. I've been playing it since I was a young wee lad, as Manic would say. Would you say that? Is that a thing? Wee lad? A wee lad?
Wee lad, yeah. Whippersnapper,
Okay,
a wee lad.
Whip. Okay. What other ways? What other words are there?
Oh, there's plenty. How obscene do you want to be?
But like British.
My God.
The British way to call somebody that.
What? A whippersnapper?
There you go.
Yeah. Whippersnapper,
Yeah.
little shit,
You
little
shit.
cunt.
Yeah.
No, they don't say cunt over there. It's only Australia that says cunt.
No, we
I think
do.
I think
yeah,
it's strictly
no,
British.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's.
so who said it first, Australia or London area? So.
I wouldn't know. Whoever said it first was the right cunt.
Right, cunt, easy, do we will. But so yeah, I've been so Hitman is the series that I'm referring to, and I don't think I've ever seen, I've never seen a company put this much content into a single player game in my entire life. And if you guys haven't played it, then you don't know what I'm talking about, obviously. But this game has been supported. I think the first one came out in 2016. I'm pretty sure it was 20. I feel like everything came out in 2016.
Episodical.
Yes, and it came out episodic because they were sort of apprehensive about their, and then there was the budget, which in Hitman 1 they went very ambitious, and then in Hitman 2 there was a budget. They didn't have the budget that they did before, so the cutscenes were more of an animated image, sort of like comic book sort of style, is the best way I can describe it, right off the top. But then it blew up after that, and they kept supporting the game, supporting it, and it did so well that they eventually got Hitman 3 out, and it is so good, such a good trilogy. And the replayability in Hitman games in general have always been notorious for just being the best at that. And that entire trilogy is on Game Pass, by the way. So if you haven't ever played Hitman, it is there. It is amazing. It is a stealth game, but I would say it is a social stealth game. It is not. You can't sneak around and stuff like that. Obviously, you can do all that. You can just be stealthy if you want. But this game it implores you to use social stealth. So like blending into crowds, getting disguises, using your head rather than just going in and shooting and stuff like that, which you can do, by the way. You can do whatever the hell you want in Hitman. But today marks the day that Freelancer finally came out. And Freelancer is sort of the mode that everyone's been waiting for. And essentially what it is it allows you to, you have your own headquarters now, similar to how it was in Blood Money, except times 100. So in Hitman Freelancer, this is a free update, by the way. It's on Game Pass. It allows you to have your own headquarters that you'll go on these roguelike missions, where you will have to prepare with the very little supplies that you have. And as you do missions and finally complete them, it's high risk, high reward. You will get more gear to take on other missions. And so you sort of like build up your base. You customize your entire house. You have this entire mansion that you can customize. You have gear that you can acquire. You have suits that you can acquire. I could go on and on and on. It's an incredible amount of content. And now they have dubbed the entire trilogy, not the trilogy, but it is just one whole game called Hitman World of Assassination. And it's now available on Game Pass. I am the ambassador. Hire me, Phil. So yeah, has anyone here played Hitman? Are you guys a fan? You ever played it?
No, I have, but not the newer one.
Yes.
Okay. Assassin.
Yes. I played
You're
the shit out of Absolution, especially the Montana level. I loved the gunplay.
Yes.
I loved the stealth mechanics. I loved being able to just go right behind somebody, get my garage, and just go right at him from right behind, just choke them, and just just to put them on the ground. And you're like, oh, okay. All right.
And thank you for pronouncing garrote correctly instead of saying garrote, like I hear some people say.
No, yeah,
Um,
no,
it-
good. No,
Manic, you said that you played it as well.
Yes.
Oh, also, I'm sorry, you weren't done. Oh,
Sorry.
No,
well,
like,
too late.
Agent 47 is my boy. Like, bro, I love
he
this
is.
guy. I played Hitman 1 and 2 of the World Assassination trilogy. I did not play 3 though, only because there was a lot of games coming out at the time. 2021, believe me, there was. Not to mention my backlog, but beside the point. I would love to try this new mode as soon as I play Hitman 3. And I'm not gonna lie, Brad.
You mean like the
with all the
story,
games
right?
coming, and with the backlog, it's gonna take
Yeah.
me a while. But I will play it.
Yeah.
I will play it eventually. I promise.
It's huge.
As-
It's huge.
I,
So.
by the way, if
Yes.
we meet in multiplayer, I'm definitely gonna garage you.
Well, that's not how it works. Again, a single player
Just
game
saying.
is hugely supported. It's insane. It is insane to me how much replayability and how much content is in the game. It's mind blowing. It's a fucking
Yes.
single player game. Manic, please tell me.
Yeah, no, I've big fan of the Hitman games, and I've played them all. And one thing I did like about Hitman 3 that surprised me was if you've got the first Hitman 1 and 2 installed on your Xbox, you can actually play all 3 of the games through the third one. So you could
Yes.
literally go back all the way to the very first Hitman and literally play the whole campaign as one
Yep.
big game. And then, you know, you can go back and each map has these story challenges, and then if you follow them through, it sets up this weird scenario. And the amount of times I've blown and burnt that guy in the hotel with the moped, the pot out the back.
Yes.
You
yes.
burst the
I
oil
know
drum,
that.
you wait for him
Yep.
to come test it, start boom. The amount of times.
Oh yes.
Yes, each level you could go back and you can play each level so many times and still see and do something new every time.
Yes.
Yeah, Hitman. I didn't know, to be truthful, until you just said there was a new mode. But now you've said that, I will be looking into that because I'm a big fan of Hitman, and I did all the sniper missions in the sniper stuff because that's a separate
Right.
thing now. Yeah, big fan of Hitman, you know. Yeah, you
Yeah,
learn a
and that's
lot.
the
There's
thing-
so many ways to kill someone.
Right, and that's the thing. Yeah, like you said it. You said it really well when you said that. I mean, so for anyone, just in case I didn't reiterate, or sorry, so I can reiterate, so I can explain this properly. All 3 of the games improved over time, and so now if you load up Hitman 3, as long as you have 1 and 2 installed, just load up Hitman 3. Hitman 3 is the one game now. You don't need to load up Hitman 1 or Hitman 2 to play Hitman 1 or 2. You need to load up Hitman 3 because it plays off the entire improved engine, and all the features and mechanics and everything have been upgraded. So Hitman 3 is essentially just the Hitman game that has the entire trilogy in it, which is now called World of Assassination. It's just Hitman 3 is one game. It's hard to explain, but if you get it, you get it.
And all the
So now there's
DLCs
Freelancer, and so now in Freelancer, not only you know how whenever you can use like your vision, you can just sort of know where the target is. In this,
Yeah.
you will have tells about a target, features, habits, and you will literally have to go and be like, okay, so I have 2 tells for this target. It says that they're a smoker, and that they are they love to wear glasses or something like that, or they don't like sweets or something like that. And then you have all these things, so it doesn't tell you. You literally have to go in and explore and try to find your target, and they gave you this camera to identify targets. It's insane. It's insane to me.
Yeah.
I just wanted to give it a big shout out because I played it for a little bit today, and I was like, I need to get back to work because I'm
Yeah, I
going
see
to
you playing
lose
it.
my job.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that
I was like,
ability, you lose that ability when you did the exclusive targets. I used to love doing
the
exclusive.
elusive. Yes.
Yeah.
Yep. The elusive target.
They did the one where they had actors, and I think it was Sean Bean or Sean Penn. They had
Sean
him
Bean,
on it.
Gary
They had
Busey.
him on it, and I remember sitting in the conference room, and he asked Agent 47, who I was playing, how would I assassinate a target? So I told him I'd poison him, I'd wait till he go to the toilet, and then I'd drown him in the bog. And I did it.
Yeah.
I actually did it. I followed through.
Yep. I love it. And Sean Bean's got an amazing voice. Shout out to him, Martin from Oblivion and so many other games, and he dies in everything. But yeah, so anyone else? Any thoughts on Hitman? You going to be playing it?
Nope, not right now.
Fantastic, wonderful. All right, Mac. Well, I'm going to let you take away this segment. This is Game Pass segment. What's out on Game Pass right now?
Well. Let me go ahead and pull my list up here. We're just gonna go ahead and do for the next week until our next showing, which we're filming this on Thursday. Our normal shows are on Tuesdays. We do it on Tuesday, release it on Wednesday. So I'm just gonna go up to Tuesday. On the 27th, we have on Rare Replay, we have GoldenEye 007 Remastered, which we all know the scenario on that. Just a single player game. You can play local multiplayer. January 30th, we have RoboQuest. It's a game preview. Only on Xbox Series, the series, and the Xbox One. Age of Empire 2, the Definitive Edition.
Yeah, girl.
I don't know how to say this name. Inkluklinitz. I don't know exactly what that is. It's a game. It's coming out on
Inklunati, right?
Yeah, I think that. Yeah, okay. That's gonna be on game preview. Also, JoJo Bizarre's Adventures All-Star Battle R, which I'm guessing it's a Royale game. I'm not sure exactly. That is also coming out on the 31st. And on February 2nd, which is next Tuesday, is going to be Darkest Dungeons and Grid Legends, which I thought Grid Legend was on there, but it might just be the EA Access 10-hour trial. So we got a couple Game Pass games. I mean, clearly we all know everybody wants to play the GoldenEye from all these old guys. You know, we're all going to trade that.
Let's talk about that.
Hold on. And then we, of course, Age of Empire, everybody like those, but will I play it? Rare Replay GoldenEye? Yes. Am I disappointed in it? Yes, because I want to play. I wanted to murk some other.
I want to play.
We all know how I am with shooters. We all know that I'm pretty good at them. I definitely like to shit on a few people in that game, but it is what I don't have friends in real life to play no more. They all dead or left me as a friend, so suck.
Right there.
Your bad day on Call of Duty is a good week for me.
Yeah, well that's true.
Yeah. Fair.
Yes.
Yeah, so Manic, you're British. You like James Bond?
Yes, James Bond. He's a Ian Fleming.
Kind of like your Superman.
Yes, yeah. As long as Superman can shoot people, then yeah.
Yeah.
He's a blunt instrument that was needed in a period when espionage, spying, and that. Yeah, it's still. Yeah, I still like it, and I did like Daniel Craig as James Bond. It was sad the way the last one ended, but you know they only sign on for so many films, so.
Yeah. Assassin, do you like old Jimmy B?
No. Give me Jason Bourne any day.
That's what I meant. Jimmy B, Jason Bourne.
Gimme.
Really, bruv?
Oh, I got you. Chick jet.
Anyway.
But come on, you weren't even born when this game came out. I don't think, but it.
No, I really wasn't. No. And I am interested to play it eventually.
Yeah.
But
I remember I birthed you.
It just I don't know. It's not at the top of my list at the moment.
Well, that's okay.
Like I said, the next game I got, or the next game I'm gonna play when I have time to go to my backlog is Mass Effect. I'd much rather play Mass Effect during
I don't believe you.
when there's nothing to play than GoldenEye.
BS.
I don't believe you. Well, I'm excited for GoldenEye. Mac, you're. It's like I don't know. It's so nostalgic. Like I'm going to play it, and it has achievements now. I can't wait to see how it feels on a bit more of a modern.
Yeah, they tuned. So the thing
Design.
I was listening or reading. I can't remember what I did. I've heard it a few times. They did upgrade the movement system and the aiming a little bit. So the game might be a little bit more fluent and a little bit more common. Probably more like Quake or something like that. I would say more a modern Quake. Probably the aiming is probably still the same. Like when you zoom in and stuff. But
like an auto aim, if you remember.
Dude, it's been so long since I played that game. We're talking 20 years.
It had like an auto aim, yeah. It was weird. Like you would get close to someone and aim in their general direction, and your gun would sort of like turn and like shoot.
Yeah, it was weird. It was like I said, they supposedly they upgraded some stuff. So we'll find out tomorrow. I could beat the first mission in probably about 6 minutes. So we'll see if I could do it again. Like I said, the much different than it was 20 years ago, and I haven't played it since before I even played Halo 2 in 2004. So it's before that, and we're going almost 20 years ago almost, So I just definitely gonna play it, but it's not if I'm gonna play Dead Space, I'm gonna try it tomorrow. So Dead Space might catch my eye. I still have just how it goes. GoldenEye might get pushed a little bit to the side for a little bit, but I will try it sooner or later. If I don't play it tomorrow, I will try it within the weekend.
Yeah, but when GoldenEye originally came out, it was actually on a controller that only had one analog stick.
Oh yeah,
right.
That controller.
Yeah, you had the C-pad. Remember that? The C-pad, the yellow buttons.
Yeah, the yellow fucking up, down, left, right.
Yeah.
And the analog stick in the center of the Nintendo controller.
Yeah. That was so stupid. What a horrible controller.
Really, Age of Empire. That's Age of Empire 2. That would be for you, I think, Red.
Absolutely. Yep.
So,
1000%. I cannot wait to see how they implemented the controls on a console for a game like Age of Empires, because I have my PC for exclusives. Years ago, I got this PC just so that way I could play older games that were only on PC, like Age of Empires. And so I am really excited for this. I grew up playing Age of Empires. It's like the only RTS that I love, which sort of spiraled me into liking other turn-based games like XCOM, Marvel, Midnight Suns. Let's go! So yeah, I'm so excited for that. Yeah. So yeah,
like I said, there's not that. Everything else is kind of just modern, or the grind legends, or grid legends, excuse me.
Hey, grind legends.
I say grind, yeah. That's what.
It's a good game.
Yeah,
it's a racing game.
Yeah, it was a good racing game. It's not like anything that I would be like put in the top 5 of racing games, but if you like just racing games in general, you'll really like that.
Arcadey.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, not as simulation as it's fast driven, arcadey kind of game. Everything else is just JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. I don't know what that really is, so I couldn't tell you anything about it. If it's a battle royale, I'm not gonna play it, so I'll load it up. If it's a battle royale, I'll just turn it right back off. So, not much that are like super good, but it's enough to. If anybody wants Game Pass, they'll definitely have something to play this next week. And that's all. That's all I got for Game Pass.
Well, great.
All right, cool, Red. Thanks. Something's happening with Red.
Good.
Sorry, one of my dogs were snoring, and I thought that was really scary and weird. I was like, "Is there a ghost in my house?" Never mind. That's fine.
Dog interrupted my
Game
Game
Pass. By a
segment.
dog snoring, don't play Dead Space, whatever you do.
Yeah, no, I'm pretty sure he was snoring because it was like, and I kept hearing that over and over again. I was like, "What the fuck is that?" I walk in there and he's just like laying there, like, "What?"
Manic, I can just see Red playing Dead Space for an hour, and he hears the sound behind him, and he's like, "Is there a fucking necromorph behind me?" And his dog morphs into one.
Yeah. What is this?
I just want to tell everybody.
Cyrus. Freeze the nipple? Who the fuck is Noah Cyrus?
I'm guessing it's Billy Cyrus's daughter or son.
It doesn't look like a daughter.
Well,
Billy Cyrus is like what, in her teens?
No, that's Billy Cyrus. Billy Ray Cyrus is his old man. He's like Miley Cyrus is like dad. So
I don't know.
well,
I don't even know why this popped up on my thing.
I'm gonna
It
tell
just
everybody that
popped
I'm
up.
having Flintstone vitamins. I'm eating right now. Just say I'm a big kid now.
Oh, that takes me back,
Yeah.
dude. I remember how healthy I felt when I took those. Nice. Congratulations. Nice. Now you can
take it.
yabba dabba do this shit. Oh. All right. So.
Mhm. Go ahead.
All right. Good. So there's that, and so let's end the show by taking everybody out of here, and Manic can get some sleep. Manic, what have you been playing? What have you been playing most lately?
Oh, a mixture. Obviously, I'm not going to mention no names, but certain people got me playing Fortnite, which has
interesting.
been rather enjoyable.
I wonder
A
who
bit
did
more
that.
than I thought. And then just a mixture of games with people, and recently been getting back into Ark. But that's only because of the news. Might be getting an Unreal Engine 5 update, new creatures coming, and that's all on the back of the fact that Ark 2 might be delayed. So, but yeah, that's what I'm playing, and looking forward to new games to play. Dead Space, GoldenEye. Yeah, all good.
Nice,
And,
nice.
yeah,
Assassin, what do you?
excellent.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Sorry, carry on.
Oh, okay. Assassin, what have you been playing? Have you been? I haven't seen you on Xbox.
Real quick before we go any further. Manic, where can we find you, by the way? What's your Twitter at and all that? If anybody would like to take a look at your profile.
Well, it's let me find the beginning of it.
This
You
is
put me
Manic.
on the
for you.
spot there.
Well,
We
I-
forgot
yeah,
about
so-
the segment, but that's fine. We can do it now.
So
yeah.
actually, so I'm gonna tell you what it's. So his at is J and then Manic73.
Yes.
If you guys want to look him up, go ahead. I mean, that's what his Twitter thing is, and then Xbox is your Manic Master. What's your numbers? I forgot.
6.
Manic Master.
6.
Manic. Yeah, there you go. So that's
That's the one.
there you go. So if anybody wants to look him up and maybe have a conversation with him, great guy to talk to and civil and awesome. One of the best people
What's
I've
your
ever met on here.
address and social? Real quick.
I don't think they have social. Do you guys have social security numbers? Yeah, I don't think they have social security numbers like us and any other
Got yourself
country.
lucky. You don't
Yes, we
security
have a
chips,
six. No, it's we have another name for it, but yeah, it's a lot like that. Yes.
Yeah.
The number of the beast is what they call it in Britain land.
In the UK, it's the national insurance number.
There you go.
Oh, yeah, that's interesting.
all right.
okay,
All right.
there
Now
you
go ahead, Assassin. Sorry, buddy.
You're right. I haven't been on Xbox lately. The past couple nights, I've
Tony.
either been too tired or I've had a family emergency to deal with. So, before that, I was playing Fire Emblem Engage. I put about a good 5 hours into that. Can't wait to jump back in. And to play Hi-Fi Rush tonight. So I'll be doing both of those. And that's what I've been playing, and that's what I'm going to play tonight. And like I said earlier, if you look up my YouTube channel, I'm going to be posting Dead Space playthrough videos in the next few days. So look forward to that.
Yes, I am very
Where can we find
excited.
you? And where can we find you?
And you can find me on YouTube at Assassin. That's ass. Yeah, you guys have to spell ass and then 4 and then SS capital IN. It's a weird way of spelling it, but I don't know why I decided to be unique, because not. And on Twitter, you can find me at Assassin, spelled exactly the same way, 4233. So,
Fantastic. And Macbound, what the fuck? The
I-
fuck are you doing?
I just beat Darksiders 1. Yes, I know it's like from 2008, but
Yes,
bought the War
holy
Master.
yes.
I
so
would
happy.
definitely say it's one of my favorite hack and slash games. Very good. Beat it in about 13 hours, I think 12, 13. Can't remember the exact time. Great game. Still playing One Piece on and off. Been real busy with. I just started back with work, so it's a little bit different with timing and stuff. Only got probably about 3 hours to 4 hours of gaming right now going on. Unfortunately, it's gonna be a little bit less soon. And I'm pretty much just been playing Halo. That's the other thing. I mean, we all know that I play Halo as much as I can when I feel like it. that's really about it. And there's nothing really else. And then watching the direct. And you can find me at Macbound _ on Twitter. You can find me at Macbound on twitch.tv/Macbound. My YouTube channel, I don't know if you can find me with just Macbound, but that is my name on there at youtube.com/Macbound. If not, just search Macbound in the search bar. I definitely would hope if anybody is watching this and hasn't followed me on Twitch or Twitter, please give me a follow. I would love it. Be real thankful. I mean, people are randomly just still popping up. Even if I haven't streamed in 2 weeks, people are still somehow randomly adding me and following me on there. So if you are watching this till the end, please, I would thank you for that. And have a good weekend, everybody else.
And be sure to tell 500 of your friends to follow him on Twitch as well.
500 of them, yeah. They got you. They got your back. Yeah, so thank you everyone for watching, and I'm your host, Red Wolf Renegade on Twitter. That is not all one word, Red Wolf Renegade on Twitter, and you've already found us on YouTube, so there's a link there. Be sure to drop a like at the least and a sub at the most. Manic, thank you so much for coming all over this show all night long. I'm sorry we kept you so late, but here we are.
Thank you for having me.
Yes, it's been a good, spicy, steamy time. And anyway, so guys, stay tuned for next episode. We will be dropping the episode on the regular schedule, which will be dropping on Wednesday, sometime on Wednesday. So stay tuned for that. And share this out to your friends, even if they drop a like or drop a view and don't even watch the whole thing. That'd be cool. Just hit the button, hit the thing. That's the thing. That's what we do. That's how it works. So thank you so much, everyone, for watching. We'll catch you guys next week. Bye.
Later.
Bye, everyone.
Bye-bye.